Hi, everyone, and welcome to Wisdom Save official campaign 2. My name is Dom. You may have heard places doing the things here and there, and if you haven't, that's okay because you're hearing me now. Joining me today, also fresh, some fresh, some old, some new, some blue. I don't know what's going on there. Faces. Why don't we say, how's it going, everybody?
So good.
So good. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Very good.
Awesome. Everybody still got like that first session jitters a little bit, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Just about.
Correct.
Yes. Okay, so the campaign is going to be awesome. Does anybody have any? Should we go through names and introduce everyone, or should we just dive in and let you guys deal with the rest of that on the fly?
Let's do intros.
Okay. Well, I'm Dom. I'm the dungeon master. I tell stories. Let's go up. If you guys have the stream open, upper left and clockwise. So, Eredan, why don't you walk us through what's going on?
My character, me or my character? Sorry.
Okay. Let's go.
Alright, sorry. My name is Josh. I'm a computer programmer. I do medieval reenactment and gaming in my spare time. I'm playing Eredan, who is, I guess, a former party boy who's made a series of bad decisions that has got him into a situation where he is on the run. And I'll leave the rest for the
Awesome. I like it. So if you want, you could just say your name, and then we will have individual scene detail. So hopefully we'll get the chance to explore some of that former party boy a little bit more. But for now, we'll keep it rolling. Eminence.
Hi, I'm Nicole, and I'll be playing Eminence. And you'll find out who that is later.
Yes. Brynjael with a yeah.
With a yeah. Hello, I'm Alishiera. I'll be playing Brynjael. I am a content creator for Legacy Esports. I stream, I make cosplays, and I'm just about having a good time, and I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Love it. Natalie.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we're going clockwise, aren't we? I was like, I'm fine, I'm last. Anyway, I'm BurrowsRed. I do things and stream stuff, and I'm playing Natalie. She's pretty cool. Like her too.
Awesome. I like it. Oriana.
Hi, I am Maleficent88 Mel. I play Oriana. I am so fucking excited to have her back in my life. I also stream and cosplay and do a whole load of shit. But mostly, I dream about Dungeons and Dragons. While I'm awake, while I'm asleep. I constantly bother my husband about it. He doesn't care at all. I'm so excited to be back.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can scratch that itch a little bit and get to see what Oriana is about. And final, Aery.
Hello, I'm Jimmy or Kat or CatRoulette or, whatever. I am also a streamer and an artist. I'm the creative director for this channel. I make the overlays and stuff. And I'm playing Aery, who is my disaster bisexual elf boy, and I really hope you love him because he's just me, but with a bad accent that I can't do properly. Please forgive me for my accent. It's going to be really bad, but I'll try.
Speaking of accents, there are going to be a lot of accents that some people will say, oh, that's nice, and some people are going to be like, he should be in jail. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the campaign now and get started. So, the six of you are standing aboard the wooden deck of your vessel. The portal rips open in front of the bow of the ship as your vessel thrust forward into this swirling maelstrom of energy. Almost immediately, a blast of wind threatens to blow you off the top as your captain in the back struggles to hold the sails tight. Beneath you, looking over the sides of the ship, is a vast, yawning, infinite depth of ether and abyss. You can see a swirling maelstrom raging below as crashing islands of the worlds and planes you have visited smash into each other and tear apart in a violent eruption of energy. At the center, torrents of roiling magma, frothing water, typhoons of cacophonous wind, and boiling earth twist and collide across an enormous humanoid form. The avatar of creation raises an outstretched palm towards you. Let's roll for initiative.
Neat.
What?
Love that.
Damn. Hell.
That's
Okay.
bull.
Oh no, I don't know if I want to do my.
Welcome to
These
the
dice
campaign.
are my favorite dice ever. I am never ever using any other dice than these dice.
I know. I think I'm gonna go blue sandstone.
Yeah, boy.
Natural 20.
Same.
Hey. Hey.
Damn.
I think is that showing?
Okay, so let's start with Aery.
15. So I have a
15.
-1.
Brynjael.
21.
21. Nice. Eminence.
13.
13. Eredan.
4. I roll it.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Natalie.
That's a 22.
22. And Oriana.
Also 15, because I also have a -1.
Okay, so up first is the avatar. It raises massive elemental swirling hand out towards you, and all of a sudden there's like almost like a nuclear blast in the center of its palm, but instead of an explosion, it's just the shockwave slowly rippling out as it expands through space. You feel that the vessel beneath you suddenly rocks, and for a moment, you can see the back of your head as your consciousness is forcefully pulled from your body. And each of you need to go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
The DC is 32.
Oh.
Yeah, no worries.
Actually, one on Constitution. So should I even roll?
I mean, do you guys have any items or anything that can...
No,
I
it's
rolled
day
a 3.
one.
Okay.
No.
Alrighty. So as unconsciousness takes hold, as each of you are forcefully pulled from your corporeal forms, Brynjael, you are reminded of the first time you were knocked unconscious. It was a rainy, gray day. You had been traveling shortly after setting out and leaving your father after your mother had left. And you came across the town of Goldford, a larger town. And as the rain was pouring down, you stopped at the one place that you knew you could always stop at, the herbalist. And as you enter into the herbalist, you can see that there's no one in the front. There are jars and cans and small different plants and potted vegetables all over the interior of the shop, and you're crying in the shop. What do you do?
Hello? Hello?
The crying kind of stops, and a moment later, a woman rushes out and, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of something. If you're looking to buy something, just hold on to it for right now. I'm in the middle of something very important. There's a child who's very sick.
Was there anything I can do to help? I'm quite proficient in many things, using medicine and herbal.
If you know anything, please come, take a look. And she ushers you into the... Lying on a cot is, in fact, maybe a 9 or 10-year-old small child. He's sort of clutching over his stomach, doubled over, and he's very, very pale. That something is very definitely wrong with him. And the woman turns to you and says, I haven't been able to figure out what's wrong with him. He just... any water or concoctions that I give him, he just immediately vomits back up. Nothing seems to stick. Can you take a look at him?
Are there any open wounds, any bites, any...
You do not see any open wounds or bites at first glance. Why don't you make a medicine check for me?
Ooh. A 10.
10 is fine. 10 is enough. So you seem to recognize some of the symptoms that they're describing. Doubled over in pain, vomiting. You recognize that this could be something called Squire's Bane. It's a berry that causes it looks like just a regular healthy sweet berry, but when you eat it, it has a slightly caustic flavor. And it is often called Squire's Bane because when knights are traveling and run out of food, they will send their squires to go and get those berries. Are they good to eat? Squire eats it, Squire gets sick. And you happen to know the ability, you have the ability to neutralize Squire's Bane. It is something called Null Root is a suitable cure.
I've seen this before. Did you happen to have any null root in stock? I think this should be quite simple for us to fix, fortunately.
I don't think I have any null root. Someone just bought out all of the null root a few days ago. We were supposed to get a new shipment in later this week. Is there something else that we could do to perhaps help him here, or maybe
Well,
is there? I only ask because I don't recognize you. Do you know any magic? Do you happen to heal or cure?
I wouldn't necessarily call it magic, but let's see if we can ease some of the pain. And I'm going to lay on hands 5 points to neutralize poison or cure disease.
Sure, yeah, that'll do it. You see that he kind of the small little boy stops doubling over and stretches out a little bit and looks up at you and, are you a dragon?
Well, some say that there must be dragonborn somewhere in my heritage.
You have scales?
And you no longer have an upset stomach, young man. I would recommend, as tasty as things look, if you don't know what it is, don't eat it in the future.
He kind of looks a little puzzled and, I didn't eat anything tasty.
Well, they're not very tasty. I can say that from experience. Are you feeling better now?
Yes. Can I get your autograph?
Sure.
He
What's an
pulls out,
autograph?
like, a dirty piece of linen and holds it out.
Okay. She would like very awkwardly write, "May the Northern Star or the Northern Lights guide you, Brynjael the Eredan."
He takes back the dirty linen rag and looks at it and immediately wipes his face on it. And you can see some of the ink comes up, like gets on his face, and like the side of his cheek says BRY as it just rubs off. And he said, "This is super. I'm gonna be just like you. Thank you." And he gets up and runs out of the shop. And oh, thank goodness you came by when you did.
Yes, always happy to help.
Yes. Now, for someone that we've helped, would you mind putting this on the window on your way out? And she hands you a small bowl filled with silver lilies.
She will very fondly take the lily and place it on the windowsill on her way out.
Okay. As that happens, another gentleman walks in, and he's sort of this human. He's got leather tunic on. He immediately goes to the shopkeep and starts barking for different orders and tonics, which you immediately recognize as different medicines to basically get high. He's home brewing peyote. And at this, the woman looks at you and kind of says, I'm sorry, I've got some work to do. You're welcome to come back anytime if you like. I tell you what, why don't you come back here later tonight? I'll cook you dinner.
Well, I haven't had a home cooked meal in a little while. I won't turn that one down.
Wonderful, thank you so much. And as you sort of turn to leave, you hear the voices kind of get a little quiet for a moment, and then almost immediately you hear the woman say, "Wait, no, she's..." And then you are smacked in the back of the head and are knocked unconscious. Up next, Eredan. You are reminded, not of the first time that you went unconscious, but instead of what unconsciousness brings to you. It brings quiet. It brings a sense of almost relaxation from the constant eyes that are watching you. And you are reminded of the first time that you felt that sensation so starkly. It was in a little town called Goldford. You had been traveling towards the end of winter. You still had plenty of gold and rations, but you decided you want to bed then. So you stopped in this town, negotiated with one of the tavern keepers, and he said, "I'm plagued for the night, and we'll put you up in a bed in the attic, no problem." And so now you find yourself on the stage, strumming a merry tune as people celebrate. The next day is the Spring Crest Festival, so there's tons of merrymaking going. People are drinking, people are having themselves a merry. What song are you playing for the crowd to earn your lodging for them?
Oh, way to hit me. I don't know. Let's just say, toss a coin.
Toss the coin. Toss the coin to your hitcher. Oh, Valley of Men and Women. That copyrighted song.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And you're jamming out to this song. People are in the back. They're hooting and hollering. They're drinking and clapping over and over. You know how to play a crowd. You know how to get people riled up in time. And as you finish the final chorus to the another bard walks up and kind of pats you on the back, says, "All right, bud, your break is up. I'm up for the next 20 minutes, and then you can take it after." And he kind of motions over to a stool on the side. You can already see there's a nice full mug drawn out for you.
Right.
And yeah, sitting at the table already is the barkeep, a human, kind of bald on the head, really big belly. And as you sit down, he leans in. I hope you don't mind, but how an elf like you learned how to play a crowd like that? Because this is no bawdy group of people. It's good selections of music that I try to bring in here. And as you're saying that, stage pulls out a harp and starts trying to play a tune, and immediately people.
Right. You'd be surprised. I had quite the formal barding education back in the day. My circumstances weren't always what they are now.
Now you say back in the day, you're an elf. So is that like last year or like last year?
No, fair enough, sir. Quite recently, actually, my fortunes have taken a turn for the strange and the painful, really. I was still studying, actually, not that long ago. Just a few months. I would never have guessed I'd end up here, wherever here is. I don't know. I've been running for too long.
Yeah, this is Goldford, lad. There was a big sign on the gate when you came in. Goldford.
Right. Oh, yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
I wasn't really paying attention. I just kind of
Yeah.
stumbled
And
in.
as you're saying that, as you're kind of like catching yourself over the name, you see that the front door of the tavern swings open. A gust of wind blows through the front door, and in shambles a person, a man ostensibly, but for his gloves and his hood pulled over his head, making it impossible to see his face. But what strikes you is the slush of ice that drips off of his shoulders, that falls down onto the ground in front of the open wind that immediately sends a shiver down your spine across the warm room. And as the individual pulls back the hood, you see your father, and his eyes make contact directly with you, and he looks sad. You blink, and he's gone. The door is shut. There's no ice on the ground. There's no snow in the room, but the chill is still there in the base of your spine. And as you're sitting there, the barkeep kind of leans in. Oi, lad, you good there? You see, you're just little spacey.
Oh, sorry. I could have sworn I saw something that it doesn't matter. Never mind. Could I take perhaps a plate of food to go? Like, if you got something I can take with me, I think I need to.
Oh yeah. I got something. And he goes back into the prepared, like apple, a hunch of bread, a piece of meat, that sort of thing. And he hands it to you. And look, you put on a good show here tonight. Tell you what, we'll call it off. If you want to stay here another night, fine. But I can see you're not in the right state of mind.
Thank you. I'd like to, but maybe another time. Goodbye. Thank you. I need to go, and I'm just going to start backing away and heading towards the door.
Yeah. So there is a back door, and as you sort of make your way towards again backing away, feel yourself bump into something, and you turn around, and standing there behind you, rotating out of the privy, is a massive 7.5-foot tall man. Clearly, there is some sort of troll blood in this individual. Massive, broad jaw, very large and huge eyes, huge ears, head shaved, bald, and you can see a massive wooden maul back, and he, "Hey, tiny man," and he kind of swats at you, and it just so happens to catch you with a 17 to hit.
Right. So yeah, gets me straight in the head.
Okay.
So
You take 13. You said.
Yep.
Okay. You take 5 bludgeoning damage, and he just happens to catch you unawares as you're turning. The last thing you see as you fade into unconsciousness from this massive troll man smacking you is just behind him, the figure of your father, looking sad over the shoulder of this man as you fade into the black. And for a moment, release. You are unconscious. You can relax. Up next, Aery. Welcome to Goldford. It's not exactly a burgeoning metropolis like you're used to. Not exactly the highest paying cartels or nobility. But the one thing that Goldford does have is trade. And trade brings peoples of all sorts, especially adventurers, especially people that you can meet and change the world and do things and learn things from. Following the advertisement that you saw, you find yourself at a small wooden shack. Simple, plain wooden door, circular windows with a curtain drawn in front of them. And as you knock, the door swings open, and inside is a kind, elderly-looking older gentleman. Oh, yes. Good day. How can I help you?
Oh, well, I'm just replying to this ad that I've seen of yours.
Oh, yes. You wish to learn magic. Come in.
Yes,
And
very much.
he motions you inside. You can see a cozy-looking home. There's a fireplace crackling in the corner to try to stave off the rest of the winter's chill. There are some chairs pulled up next to a small table, and he motions, "Please, take a seat." And as you sit down across from this gentleman, he begins to brew some tea. Do you know any magic, or are we starting at square one?
Well, I do know a little, but I've had some incidents when I've tried to use it occasionally. Mostly I would like to learn how to avoid that in the future.
Avoid incidents. Well,
Yes, sometimes things go like poof or bam,
yeah. Oh, if it's any good magic, it always. But here, I tell you what. Try to take this. And he holds out the cup with the tea in it in his open palm, from across the room. And he says, "Bring this to yourself."
Oh, okay. And I'll take out my wand and try and, I don't know, just like beckon the teacup to myself.
Sure. You try to, what is it, Harry Potter? Leviosa the cup. Make an Arcana check for me.
Okay.
Actually, you're a
That-
sorcerer, aren't you?
Yes.
Why don't you just do straight up charisma then? I mean, if you want
well,
to add your
It
Arcana, I
was
guess
an
that's fine.
8. So if it's a charisma, I think it would be. It's not a saving throw, right? So I
It's
just
not,
add
it's
my
just a straight-
modifier.
Yeah.
Which is just 4. So 12.
Well, okay. So are you using any specific?
I don't think I have a spell for that because I don't think I have mage hand or anything. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I
So
don't have
you
spell
make
specific.
this. You wave your hand to try this spell, and nothing happens. And eventually, the older gentleman kind of chuckles. Oh, okay. We'll start with this then. And he walks over and hands you the cup of tea, and proceeds to spend the next 30 or minutes or so to teach you how to cast the spell Mage Hand. I want you to go ahead and roll 4 d20s for me. Over the course of practicing this spell, I want to see if your magic does anything.
Do you want me to tell you all the numbers individually?
Sure. Did you get any
Or
ones?
just add them up? Did I get, sorry?
Any ones?
No, they're all over 10 actually.
Okay, that's good.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
roll
great.
all session.
Yeah. of course, during the story P bits,
Yeah.
this is when the rolls are going to be. So your magic doesn't go out of control. He teaches you how to Mage Hand, and after 30 minutes or so, you can also add Mage Hand to your list of spells if you like. After 30 minutes or so, you are levitating this cup in front of you with the Mage Hand cantrip. And
Oh, wonderful. Very good, very good. Ah, yes. Remind me of myself when I was strikingly more handsome.
I can only imagine.
Yes, well, keep working on that. Magic is, it's like a cooking recipe. The ingredients are always there. You just need to send the right energy through them.
Okay.
You seem to have an idea for the energy. You just need to know the recipes.
I
A
see.
cookbook, as it were.
Well, I very much appreciate your help. Thank you. I will
Of
keep
course.
practicing.
Wonderful.
and at this, he kind of settles back into the chair and looks you up and down and says,
Yes. Yes, I think you will do nicely.
and he will cast the sleep spell.
I'm an elf. I can't be put to sleep by magic.
You cannot. That's right. Shoot.
Sorry.
Oh,
You want to
Bez.
pretend to fall asleep so I can move the story? No, I'll keep going.
Yeah. I'll be like,
Um,
oh, maybe I'll take
Oh no!
Oh.
So he cast this spell. So let me put it this way: he casts this spell. Do you know the sleep spell?
No, I don't.
You do not. So I don't know whether or not you would recognize it. He tries to cast a spell on you and nothing happens. He looks a bit puzzled at that, and
What was that?
Oh, I'm just trying to gauge how powerful you are.
If you're trying to make me fall in love with you, it will not work.
he kind of laughs nervously.
Yes, that was it.
I imagine this is the face that he's making as well.
Yeah, he just looks really confused right now.
Darn. I tell you what, I have some more pupils coming shortly. Why don't you wait here, and I will be back in a moment.
Oh, that would be lovely.
And he steps out the front door. Yeah, it probably takes him about 15 or 20 minutes before he gets back. Do you want to do anything during that time? Explore his house.
Yeah, I'd just like to look around the room and see, just look at all the magic-y things because I'm very curious.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. So this looks like the home of like a middling mage. He's got different spell books of a whole bunch of different varieties. Research. He's definitely a wizard, not a sorcerer. You can see knickknacks all along the walls from various locations and travels. His kitchen in the back. The kettle is still steaming and constantly just letting out this high-pitched screech as you make your way around. You see some early component recipes for fireworks. The mixing of chemistry and runic symbols in this like twin discipline that basically makes the fireworks do specific things, like Lord of the Rings, Gandalf's dragon fireworks, that sort of thing. And as you're going through some of this, coming in through the front door, you see the mage once again, and he's speaking quietly with the individual behind. You see a human, sort of a big old bushy beard on the bottom, leather tunic. He's got a small dagger, and they talk for a little moment. And
Oh, good. You're still here. Wonderful. What are you reading? What are you doing?
Oh, I just thought I'd have a gander at some of your books. It looks like you dabbled
Yes.
in entertainment.
I do, yes. I helped design some of the fireworks tomorrow.
and at this, the voice behind him, the other gentleman speaks in. Oh, why are we even pretending? And he just pulls out a short sword and holds it out to you. And all right, you're gonna need to put this on your head, and tosses a leather sack across the room. And the old man's like,
Oh, no, yeah, all right.
Oh, why would I want to do that? Usually you have to, like set the mood and things, but
well, look, beggars can't be choosers here. Put the
I guess
cone
the
on your
beggar-
head, or I'm gonna cause some pain.
I see how it is. You know what? I'm not going to cause you any trouble. I'll just put this on my head.
Okay, you pull the leather sack over your head. A few moments later, you grab your start tying your and just a moment afterwards, a blow to the head knocks you. Thank you for running along with my DM mistake there. Elves.
Dom, just quickly
Yo.
as well. You
Yeah.
seem to be cutting out. I think it's like maybe the noise gate or something. It just every now
Gotcha.
and then it's normally fine, but every now and then it just is like. Mm-mm.
Yeah, so that happens with my other campaign as well. If I do continue to cut on and off like that, totally happy to repeat myself.
Okay, sure. We have lost someone.
Oh, she dropped.
Dead. She's dead.
There
Game
she
over.
is.
There we go.
Sorry.
We're back.
I
Okay.
don't know how I did that.
Natalie, you are up next. Instead, you are not reminded as this shockwave of force expands outwards from the avatar of creation. You are not, in fact, reminded of the first time you were knocked out because you've been knocked out so many times. You actually don't remember the first time you were knocked out. Instead, you remember the first time that you woke up and there were people around you that made you feel different as you woke up. But of course, we're getting ahead of ourselves. It is a sad, gray evening. You've been trekking through the mud and the sludge before you come upon this town of Goldford, and immediately trekking your wet, muddy body into the first tavern you see. There's a bard playing a harp. You can see it's later in the evening. There's not a lot of folks still out in this town, but there still seem to be celebrating something, getting ready for some sort of spring festival or what have you. And as you kind of sit down, and barkeep doesn't even say anything. He just slides a drink down the counter over towards you. You hear the seat next to you creak and groan, and looking over to your left is a 7.5-foot tall man. Some sort of troll blood in him, massive jaw, sort of smaller eyes, smaller face, and he's got a single mug in front of him, and his shoulders are hunched, and he kind of leans over to you and,
Hi.
You pray. And he motions down towards the side of your bag where a pan flute is hanging.
Do you play?
You play?
I'm afraid I'm not awfully good at it, but I can try.
You drink?
And he offers his mug.
Yes, I do drink.
He kind of like smiles a little happily there. And at that, you hear a voice from across the room call out, "Oi, Hawk! What do you got there?" And turning around, yes, that's my Australian accent. It will happen, I apologize. Strolling across the bar, you could see a human man, leather jerkin, great big bushy beard, and he looks to be deep in his cups at this point. And he walks over and claps Hork on the shoulder and looks at you and, "Hi! I haven't seen you before. Are you new here?"
I am, actually. Fairly new.
What's fairly new?
As of today, I believe. Is there something happening here? A festival of kinds?
Oh yeah, it's the Spring Crest Festival. Everyone's drinking and celebrating and time. Old Hawk here, and he pats Hork on the shoulder. You can see Hork like kind of winces a little bit. Old Hawk here seems to have taken a liking to you. Reckon you spend some time with my boy, make him happy.
I mean, I'm happy to share a drink.
Yeah, drinks. We'll start with drinks. I like that. Boys! And he kind of hollers over, and you can see the two other men come on by. At this point, you realize that most of the rest of the tavern has gone relatively quiet as they're watching these individuals that have sort of ganged up around you.
Right.
The barkeep is on the other side of the table, of the bar, hesitantly, and he looks to you and then back at the individual behind him. And the individual says, "Oh yeah, we'll do another round for all of us. Make it something good." And the barkeep looks at you for confirmation.
And I'll just like look at them and slowly just nod my head.
Okay. He reaches down and pulls out a heavier whiskey-looking drink and pours some glasses, spreads them all out across you. Hork picks his up and doesn't even hesitate, just knocks the whole thing back. The individual behind takes an, "Oi, Hork! Oh, you blubby piece of shit! Come on! All right, a toast to new people in town and to the Spring Festival."
And Natalie will pick up a drink also, but she'll kind of do it like very intentionally, like kind of like not just like eager to go into it, but like slowly.
You take your time with the drink. You're sending a message here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So he knocks it back. The other two knock it back. He kind of blinks and sees you drinking a little more slowly. Something wrong there?
I just particularly like to enjoy my drinks. What brings you to the festival?
Well, my dad's making it happen. He's running the town, and I get done for. Oh, I haven't even introduced myself. How on earth am I supposed to make friends with people? And he grabs your hand and says, "Oh, I'm Rilio. This is Hawk." Claps him on the shoulder. "This here is Sapro, and this here is Manat."
Right. You said your father owns the town? Is that right?
Words and words, yeah. Look, you just need to know that, yeah, you don't want to be getting on his bad side or my bad side. All right? So just keep that in mind as we have some drinks, so we celebrate and have a good time. We make sure Hawk is looked after. See, is like very clearly having a pained expression.
Right. Who was having a pained expression, sorry?
Hork.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, perfect.
Hork kind of turns slowly and immediately Rilio just slaps him and is like, no problem. We're looking out for you. As long as he's fed and he's happy, I gotta tell you, he's the best unpaid labor I've ever seen. Best friend of mine I've ever had. I'm gonna have him carry my bride down the aisle. This great old love.
Seems like a quality folk.
Yeah, lovely, isn't it? Well, I suppose I'll leave you to it then, Hawk. Have yourself a good old time. We'll just keep the drinks coming. I think that sounds like a good plan, doesn't it? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
My name is Natalie.
Natalie, yeah, Natalie. We'll just keep the drinks coming and do everything we can. Keep Hawk happy. Yeah. Have a good night. And he winks at the bartender in the back and saunters back over towards his table with the other two. And as the bartender kind of leans forward and looks at you and everything all right there?
I'm not sure. Who were they?
That's the town's resident jackass. That's Rilio. He his dad's the captain of the guard, and he has a bit more influence than would be civil for a town of this side. I think that's a good way to put it. What do you think, Hork? And Hork just doesn't respond. He's looking despondently at the bottle of whiskey. The barkeep kind of, oh yeah, you take this, buddy, and slides the bottle to Hork, who immediately just starts knocking it back.
Captain of the guard, you said? Is his father?
Yeah.
So he just thinks it's okay to run around and be an arse then?
Well, we can't really stop him, right? In the name of the law, Captain of the Guard's word makes things happen, you know? Black
Sure.
eye here and there is small price to pay.
Right. Well, I'll keep that in mind. And I'll turn to Croc, is it?
Hork.
Hork.
H-O-R-K.
H-O-R-K. And I'll
Yeah.
just, with his new bottle of whiskey, and just... Shall I join you then?
He looks over at you, and for a moment, he doesn't quite know what to make of the situation. The fact that you are willingly choosing to hang out. And he kind of slowly, lets out a low nod.
And she'll just like smile like quite kind of greatly, and she's got like these like rather prominent tusks coming out of her mouth there, and still obviously covered in mud. Shall we sit? Maybe enjoy more of the music. What would you like to do, or would you just like to sit down and have a drink?
He just drink. Keeps pulling a swig from the whiskey bottle and offers it to you.
I'll take a swig, but like not like a generous swig, like like
Sure.
a kind of polite like.
Yeah. You take a drink. He's happy about the situation and takes it back. And Hork seems like a 6 or 7 year old in a man's body. He seems like genuinely happy with the situation. But over the course of the of like sitting and drinking and spending a little bit of time with him, every now and again you hear the voice of Rilio in the back of the tavern, just rising up above the music, rising up above other people's conversations, and reminding you of this blade of Damocles sort of dangling in the air. Yeah, what would you like to do? Just drink and hang out, get to know Hork?
I am doing that, but at the same time, I'd like to keep an eye out for an ear out, I should say, for the other guy, just to see if he's being particularly aggressive. Like, you know how you can kind of like feel the tension in a room, right? Like,
Yeah.
If he's kind of making
there's
a lot of people
definitely-
uncomfortable.
There is definitely a palpable energy. So it wasn't exactly packed by the time you got there, but after maybe 30 or 45 minutes of hanging out, most of the remaining patrons gone. There is a single woman who is trying to finish off a glass of wine, but Rilio is heckling her from across the room. All the wonderful classics of I'll give you the best lay you've ever had. I'll make all men look like animals compared to me. Just the most sexist, terrible remarks.
Be gross. Yep, cool.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
Cool. I'll just look at Hawk and I'll just I'll be back in a moment. And I'll try and make eye contact with the lady trying to finish her wine. And
She
just kind
is
of
staring holes into the table in front.
right.
She's like not looking up for anything.
I'll just approach. What is his name again? Sorry, I just need to write that down.
Rilio.
How do I spell that?
Rillio.
Llio. Okay, gross dude, coming at you. All right, I'm gonna just charge directly up to him and just Rilio. I understand that I've just met you, but I believe that you need to calm down.
At this point, you can see that he's half drunk and. You what? And he stands up at the table. He's a little shorter than you, as a half orc. And almost immediately, the other two at the table stand up as well, and they are both definitely shorter than you.
All right, perfect.
What?
I will kind of position myself in such a way that it's mindful of where they are, but kind of definitely like a posturing kind of thing, shoulders back, standing as tall as I can, and just will stand directly in his face and just, you have had enough, and you need to go home.
I think. He kind of hiccups. I think you need to go home. Ain't that right, boys? And the other two kind of, yeah.
All right.
Raises
Natalie.
a hand and puts it on a rapier tip.
Okay. Natalie would like to just directly headbutt him in the face.
All right, make an attack roll.
Sure. That is. Would that be unarmed? I'm guessing.
Yeah, just
That's a
unarmed
21
attack.
to hit. So.
21 definitely hits. Oh, I love it. Give me some damage here.
What is it? 1d? No, it's 4. It's just flat 4.
Flat 4, awesome. You bash him right in the face. He kind of reels a little bit, and you can immediately see a bright red stream of blood trickling down out of his nose. And he, oh, you fucked up now. And he pulls out the rapier. Let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Sure.
Kill.
That's a solid
Kill him.
17.
17. Okay. Awesome. One more thing. Big sad. Okay, you're up first.
All right, perfect. So she's going to use the great axe. No, you know what? No, I mean reasonably. Yeah, great axe. That makes sense.
Maul him to death with your fists.
Yeah, no, that's what I was like. Do I just continually headbutt him? But D&D doesn't work like that. You can't just knock people out.
Rip out his throat with your tusks.
Ooh. That's a thought.
Hi,
No.
welcome to We're Overly Violent.
This scene is really setting the mood for the campaign.
So, I would like to use my great axe on him, but keeping in mind that if it does get to the point where he drops to 0 hit points, I would like to knock him unconscious, not kill him.
Non-lethal. Sure,
Just-
perfect.
yeah.
That's fine.
All
Let's get
right,
an attack
so
roll.
that is a 21, and that
21
is
hits. Let's get some damage.
oh fuck! It's my first round of combat. I forgot to rage. That's fine. That's a 9 damage. And then
9
I'll be
damage.
real angry, and I'll rage afterwards.
Okay, you rage afterwards. I like it. He is up next. He's going to take 3 attacks against you.
Neat. Love it. Love it.
How is a 20, 18, and 8 to hit?
20 and 18 obviously hit.
Okay. You take 7. You take 12 slashing damage. Sorry,
So
13
6?
slashing damage. Yeah, down to
So
6.
6. Yeah.
And as you're standing there, you feel the ground underneath you kind of shake a little bit. And even as the realization hits, you're like, man. And turning around behind you is Hork. And Hork does not look happy. Hork, in fact, looks very sad. And as Rilio takes the swings, he swipes the blood away from his face. Hork, what are you doing standing there? Hit it! And Hork kind of... Sorry. Swings the club. I got a nat 20 for Hork.
Neat.
That is 11 times 2 is 22, plus 3 is 25.
So, can I mass?
Which is 12.
12?
Halved. Yeah.
Cool. I'm still standing.
Still standing?
I'm a
All
barbarian.
right.
I have a lot of hit points.
Yeah. The blow strikes you across the side of the face. One of your teeth flies off and bloop, falls into a drink. Behind you, the other two are going to take attacks against you. We're going to get 15 to hit and 12 to hit.
15 does, 12 doesn't.
Okay. That is 8 piercing damage.
8.
Which
so
is rounded down to
4.
4. Yep.
Cool.
And the other one takes out 2 with his short sword. He gets a 15 and
And a what, sorry?
21. 15 and 21.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. He gets 12 damage against you with his strikes.
So that's 6.
Yeah.
I'm still standing.
And you're back up in the initiative.
Yep,
You are
cool.
surrounded on all sides, beaten and bloodied in a bar. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna keep hitting him. Rilio, that's the
Rilio?
one.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
said like 3 different things then.
Yes.
So that is a natural 1.
Nat 1. You raise the great axe. How many hit points do you have?
I have 4 currently.
4. Love it. With a natural 1, you raise the great axe, and as you come down to swing it, your foot slips in some beer, and you do like this, for a moment, elegant pirouette as you spin, and your foot slides out from under you, and your head cracks against the side of the table, and you are knocked unconscious. It looked cool, and you did stand up to the bad guy.
I will also ignore my relentless.
Your half-orc's endurance,
For the
I know.
For the
I
sake of
just
this, I will
remembered.
ignore it.
As you pointed out, I was like, wait, no, does she have a thing? She's an orc! Fuck!
I mean, like, honestly, they'd probably just, like, kick me in the face or something, like...
Yeah.
Just bounce back. No.
It's
Oh,
4v1,
yeah.
I can't... Then nothing happened.
that awkward moment when you're like, I know the perfect narrative scenes, and then like one character detail that's like, no.
That's all right.
I don't think I will. Yes. Okay. Oriana and Eminence. It is morning. Your horses are tired. You've been traveling through the rainy night. Your cloaks have been soaked through, and you're at the very least keeping a little bit warm. But as you walk through into the town, just shortly after dawn, you can see there is a hustle and bustle of activity. The sign says Goldford on top of this massive, beautiful arches, but really it's just some town in the material realm that's not standing out quite too much to you. However, as the two of you are making your way through town looking for a suitable place to hopefully rest and stow your horses, not just some tavern, but something a little nicer, a little classier, someone runs out into the street in front of your two horses, holds out his hands and stops the both of you and looks at the two of you. You're here! You're here! Looks around real quick and leans forward. Come with me. Your father sent a message.
Oh, good. Who are you?
Me! Oh, me, yes. I wrote my name down somewhere. My name is Ruo. Ruo is my name. Come, I'll take your horses. You don't even need to steer. It grabs the bridle on the two of your horses and begins to continue along.
I look at Oriana with a bit of a befuddled expression, but if she's not saying anything, I'm going along with.
It's unfortunately not unlike our father to do this kind of thing, so Oriana will deal.
Yeah. The two of you are led to a small, more of a hovel than a home. It is not great. There's barely a wooden post left out front to tie the horses' bridles to hold them in place. There's not a wooden door. There's just a rough rag curtain in front of this hovel. And as you approach Ruo, this scraggly human kind of sweeps it aside with a grand gesture. Please, I would rather have this conversation not on the streets. You never know who's watching, correct?
And I would really, really rather not go in there.
Yes, our father sent you to bring us here.
Yes, well, he has a message for you. It's very important that I tell it to you. I do not want to make him angry.
No, go on then, tell us.
Well, I can't do it out here. There's people everywhere. Please, it will just be a moment, I promise. The two of you get the impression that you could absolutely take this guy. He looks more stick figure than man.
I'll walk in with a hand on my dagger beneath my cloak.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, gee, Oriana's going to 100% take her mace and just be holding it in a very threatening, you fuck us over, I'm going to fuck you up manner.
Yeah.
Go inside.
He kind of pulls back away from you as you walk inside. On the inside, you see almost like an alchemist's worst nightmare of a workshop. There are different jars and chemicals all over the place. Half of them don't have lids. The workshop is covered in various different powders and unguents, and it is an absolute mess. He goes over and pushes off a sack of black powder that kind of falls down to the ground to pull out a stool and shakes it out and sets it down before reaching over and finding another chair in a similar manner and sets it down over to the next of you. You can see many, many small tubes that sort of have these arcane engravings on the side. Half of them are filled with black powder. Some of them are filled with like red powder, and you recognize that he appears to be making fireworks. And as he sort of offers these, chill with the rain. How do you two handle rain? Is that a problem for with the horns and there's like fire, right?
I'm just going to look at my sister and roll my eyes.
I think perhaps you should just give us your message.
Yes. I think that's a good good plan. I will make some tea while I compose the rest of it. It was in this incomprehensible language. I want to make sure that I repeat it correctly. Yes. And he walks into the back into like a small cubby where he starts preparing a cup of tea. Yes, I do. Well, were you traveling far?
Is that any of your business? Do you really need tea? Can we just have our message? I don't.
It's more for me than for you. I will say that. I'm not exactly in the greatest. I've been so busy lately. It's just I didn't really expect the two of you to be here. It's tough sometimes. And he continues to brew the tea.
Oh my god.
While he's occupied, if I look around this room, other than the fireworks mess, is there any sign that he actually worships or knows our father?
Make a perception check.
I think I'm good with perception. That is a 16.
16, yeah, that's pretty good. So you don't see any overt symbols referencing any sort of devils or demons or the 9 hells. You do see that there are candles everywhere, probably too many candles than there should be for a general alchemist workshop. But underneath the table in the back, you can see part of a rug has been moved out of the way, and you can see a trap door. And etched into the top of the trap door, you do see what looks like some sort of I forget the word. Devil script? What's the language that devils speak? Infernal! That's the one. You do see some infernal script.
Okay, I'm not going to point that out to Oriana just yet, but okay.
Sure. And finally, he finishes brewing the tea and comes. It's kind of shaking inside of the cup and clattering against the saucer and stands and looks for a moment for a place to sit and realizes that he's given his 2 chairs to the 2 of you. So he sits down on the floor and. So, how's the cult going?
Is this small talk?
We don't do small talk.
Okay, how about big talk? World domination? Is that what the thing?
Better?
The message, please.
Oh,
Quite tired. Like to find somewhere to stay. Absolutely not staying here.
yes. Yes, no, that makes sense. And he kind of rubs his face, and there's just like a big black soot mark. All right. Well, I'm terribly sorry. I lied. I wrote it down. I know he doesn't like writing it down, but I can never have chemical formulas that I need to do my business. So I will go get that. Just wait right here. And you can see he goes over to the table and pulls it out of the way and pulls the rug out of the way. At this point, you now can script written on top of this trapdoor as well. And it's sort of just like a general prayer to praise be to the Dark Lord, pain and suffering on all who oppose him. That's, and he pulls up the rope, and you can see the trapdoor kind of goes on down. And okay, all right, there we go. And he disappears into view and ducks down into the trapdoor. And you can hear him kind of like down there and talking to himself. And then you hear goof, 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 goof. Ow! I'm sorry. Can one of you 2 help? I didn't hear anyone leave. A barrel fell on my leg.
I kind of feel like perhaps we just leave him to his incompetence.
I mean,
Are you having this discussion out loud?
I
Yes.
don't see what. Yeah, I'm moderately curious, but I'm not going down there.
Ugh, I have mage hand. But I have to be able to see what I'm doing. I can't just go, oh, a barrel that I can't see. I'd have to look.
Yeah, you'd have to at least get up to the trapdoor.
Yeah. I will walk over to the trapdoor with no intention of actually going inside and have a look.
Yeah, looking down inside, you can see that like barrels and crates appear to have fallen across into a big old jumble. Of the man, you see no sign. A voice kind of calls out from the bottom of the cellar further away from you. It's just right here on my leg. I think I heard one of you walking closer. It's really quite heavy.
Are you absolutely certain you can't just remember the message and tell us?
It's right over here. I just can't reach it.
But it's dirty.
Wait, that's your problem? All right. Yes. So I have a rag I can give you?
I have a feeling that would also be dirty. Fine, I'm coming down, but I swear to fucking God you're fired after this. You're having no more messages. Nobody's ever going to contact you ever again. Fired.
Wait, you're firing me?
Yes.
Hold on, this is an important distinction. Are you removing me from the organization following lighting me on fire?
Possibly both. Depends on the message.
Okay, well, it's just over here.
And Ariana's going to go down the trapdoor.
Okay, you descend down into the cellar. It just appears to be a regular cellar, its own self hewn out of the dirt and rock and mud. Jumble of barrels and crates have sort of created this makeshift blockway, and you can just make out the shadowy figure of the man on the opposite side of the pile of the barrels. From what you can see from the barrels, they appear to be filled with different sorts of like powders that were supposed to have been kept dry, but with the recent rains, who really knows considering the state of things in this workshop. What would you like to do?
If I can see a shadowy figure, does he actually look like he's covered in crates? Because I don't. He's shifty.
You
and
can
I
sort of
don't
like barely see his outline, like on the other side of this pile.
Yeah. She's gonna walk over there quite slowly, just picking her way through. She doesn't want to really touch anything, and she's gonna mutter the entire way about the incompetence of this stupid man. Things have obviously gone downhill since she left home. Father really, really needs to hire some better underlings. Honestly, what the fuck?
At that point, he kind of corrects you and, wait, people are getting paid? Sure, you sort of pick your way across the barrels, and you get over. You can see that a barrel has indeed fallen across his leg and a crate sort of halfway across his chest. He's managed to sort of push the crate halfway off, but you reckon it would probably need a little bit of help to move the barrel.
Yeah, let me just clicky on the clicky. Oh no, I'm assuming whatever this weighs is more than 10 pounds, so I'll actually have to touch
This
it.
is more than 10 pounds, yes.
Oh, I've never used Mage Hand before. This is new. I'm very upset with it. I would like to go over and attempt to kick it off of him so I don't have to touch it.
Sure, using your foot, you try to sort of push it away. Make a strength check.
Okay. 13.
13? 13 is not enough. You can see the bottom half of the barrel is kind of like wedged into the mud. You reckon if you had some help, you might be able to push it off.
If she makes any noise while this is happening, I'd like to shout down, has he tried to kill you yet?
No, he is genuinely stuck. Could you please come help?
Fine. I'll climb down and join her.
Okay. You also make your way down into the cellar. There are no candles down here, probably for a specific reason, judging by the barrels filled with black powder. But you're able to make your way over towards the barrel as well. I'll let the both of you roll strength and add the totals together.
Ooh, that's not good. That is an 8. 8.
That's a 4.
8 for a 12. So as the two of you both get on the other side of the barrel, you kind of look at each other in 1, 2, and immediately Oriana, your foot slips in the mud, and you just face plant right into the black powder. And as you pull your face up, there's just like a black face imprint of the powder from standing up. And the man kind of
Stop that. Remember how we were talking about firing like literally and professionally?
You can see like little tears starting to form as he's trying not to laugh. He's
Okay, do we try again?
Yeah, try again.
Oh god.
Okay. Okay, 14.
16.
16. Okay, at 30. That's awesome. That's more than enough. This time you square your feet correctly, making sure to like stand on a dry patch, and the two of you get the barrel back to upright knee. Ah! Oh god. Ooh. Yeah, that's good. And at that point, he pops the leg completely off, and you see that it's a wooden prosthetic, and he kind of shakes his hip out a little bit and yeah, that would have been stuck there for a while. Thank you. and pops it back in. Oh, here's the message right here. And he steps over 3 feet to a small, what looks like a personal study. You can see a couple of candles, the long white wax melting down from the sides, personal notes and notebooks. You can see some infernal script written here and there. And he pulls out the note and holds it. And actually, it's better if you read it. Here, I'll get a light for the candles. And he starts heading out of the cellar.
With the note?
No, he's handed you the note.
Okay, I'll read it.
Sure. You are in a cellar deep underground. Do you have dark vision?
Yes. Tieflings.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. You can see that infernal, it says eggs, bread, milk, ham. And
Okay,
at about this point, you hear and the trapdoor slams shut, and you are both shut into pitch blackness. And almost immediately afterward, as the table slides back on top of the trapdoor.
Well then.
Oh my god, this is why we don't help people. This is why we don't help people.
Okay, can't do that. I need to be able to see the space I would move to.
At about this point, you can hear like a muffled voice up against the floor above you, kind of. Sorry, where's my desk?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't hear.
It was sorry, praise Asmodeus.
Oh fuck!
Asmodeus. So figuratively burning them with the firing. Yes, agreed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
At about that point, you hear, which you recognize as the sound of a tinder being lit.
Oh my god. Tiefling fire resistance in the very least.
Can I do anything?
Do?
I don't know, I'm just checking. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, I'm just seeing if I can do it.
So I will say, with your dark vision, you can look around and see pretty clearly. It's not like straight color vision. It's sort of like a dim grayscale version of the world. Just looking around, you can see that one of the walls isn't quite flat.
All right.
So many of my damage spells are already fire.
Yeah, we're pretty fire-based siblings. I'll investigate this door, this wall.
It is a door. It is a wall that looks like a door. Or it is a door that looks like a wall. That's the... If it were the other way around, that would suck.
I'm going to cast my unseen servant to push on this door, just in case it's a booby trap.
Sure. It has to push some of the mud that has sloughed down into the seam out of the way, but it opens it up and it seems to descend slowly downwards.
Well, age before beauty.
Thank you. And Oriana will go down there, and I have nothing to cast light. She's going to be like, I knew our father wouldn't have had someone like that in his employ. Should have. Oh my god.
Yeah, you were rather stupid, weren't you?
Eminence, please.
So making your way down the tunnel, it descends about 15 feet before it kind of curves off to the right. And after another 20 feet of just horizontal flat ground in this tunnel, it comes to like a flat wall.
Great.
It's definitely just a wall this time.
Make an investigation check.
Okay. Oh my god, I'm rolling very badly. That's a 9.
9. Eminence, do you want to investigate as well?
Yeah, let's investigate.
Or you can help Oriana out and let her get advantage.
I rolled very poorly, but I would not do that.
Okay, sure. So the two of you stand there looking at this wall, trying to detect the trapdoor, not helping the other.
Never.
No.
How long was this tunnel?
Maybe 30, 40 feet in total.
As someone who plays with fire often, if I were to cast Sacred Flame to try and blow up that other room, would we die in this tunnel?
It was filled with black powder.
Hmm.
I will say you are welcome to try it, because that's Dungeons and Dragons.
But Oriana has a feeling that she would probably not survive this.
I mean, you have resistance to flame.
This is true.
So you kind of walk through the steps in your head. You're like, okay, there's the fire bit, which it would be hot. It might hurt. There's like the concussive force bit, which could be a problem, but we're like 30 feet away. It's your call, really.
Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, in frustration, I'm going to not and fire Eldritch Blast at the wall.
Sure. You fire Eldritch Blast at the wall. You can see it kind of shudders and swings a little bit as if it's on a hinge at the top.
Oh, that's a much better idea. I'm not going to say that out loud, but that's a much better idea.
Can I just keep throwing him?
Sure. Every single time it swings just a little bit.
I don't think I have much stronger than that.
You get the sense that you're throwing darts at like a doggy door. Like it looks like you could just push it open.
Oh,
I will attempt to push it open. I was about to say.
Sure. Go ahead and make a strength check.
Oh, please. Okay. Look, I thought that was a 1, and it's not a 1, but it is a 7.
Okay. Single-handedly
like these dice.
push. It kind of moves a little bit, but it does not give. If the two of you want to work together.
Then
Sure.
look, I'll join in. I won't push her out of the way, so if you keep pushing, I'll push too. And that is... what's my strength modifier? A hot 6.
6 and
18.
18. You don't even notice your sister Oriana. You're just like, I will not be outmaneuvered here. And you push against the door, and it creaks and sort of grinds up a little bit, and you can hear some sort of mechanism in the walls clicking. But on the other side, you can see a chamber in front of you. Candles and torches line the walls. It seems to be well lit, well maintained.
Is there an exit?
There is. There is a wooden door on the opposite side of the room.
Cool.
Okay.
Straight for it. Beeline.
That's the most important thing, but I would like to see what else is in this room.
I don't.
Yeah. So as you step forward, Eminence, Oriana, you feel that the trapdoor starts to swing back and away. And you can either let it swing shut, separating the two of you on the other side, or follow in with your sister.
Oh god, I'm going inside by not being separated. This is the worst.
The door slams shut. And at that, the rest of you wake up. Bryn, Aery, Natalie, and Eredan. Some of you forcibly maneuvered here in more or less difficult circumstances, but you find yourselves scattered about different...
I I'm so sorry. I don't know why I keep pressing disconnect instead of mute. I do know they are next to each other, but this has never been a problem for me before.
No worries. The remaining four of you wake up to this slam as the trapdoor in the back of the room grinds itself shut, and two tieflings find themselves into the room. You're sort of scattered lying across the stone floor in this chamber of what looks like a workshop. You can see the components to different fireworks, some arcane etching supplies. You can see bits of black powder here and there. You can see some red powder mixed in with that black powder as well. But each of you are now conscious and in this room together. What would you like to do?
Do we have our stuff on us?
You do. It's all stacked up against the door.
This was not where I was expecting my day to go at all.
Neither.
Honestly, yeah, neither.
Mm.
Ignoring everybody who's just woken up, you said there were candles and torches and stuff. Are there any sigils, religious shit, or just candles and torches? And are they lit? Like, is
so the candles and torches are lit. It is well lit in this room. Across the walls, you can see upside down pentagrams. There's a painting of like a man with a goat's head, just like generic hell-based imagery. Like if you were to play a level,
not actually a servant of Asmodeus, just a fucking edgelord.
like if you were to play a level in like Doom, like just generic hell stuff.
Just hell things.
Yeah,
I like
just
it.
hell things.
It looks like my bedroom at home.
Speaking of edgelords,
I'm sorry, any of you people. I'm no longer in the herbalist's shop, that's for sure.
no.
Oh, my head hurts. Did I have one too many? Where are we? Who are you?
We are in a basement, like a sub basement. Who are you?
I'm up.
Not my basement, by the way.
Oh, good. What? How did you get here? How did we get here? You look like you didn't just wake up. What?
No,
what's
it
happening?
seems we were slightly smarter than the rest of you.
Eminence, please.
Actually, I don't necessarily agree with that because I didn't have to walk in here, and you did.
And also, you seem quite suspicious seeing as we're the only ones that woke up. How do we know that you're not the ones behind this? I mean, the word of a stranger saying it's not their basement. You knew it was a basement.
We
Yeah,
walked into this basement. We attempted to help a stranger.
Well, they
That's
can't
what
be
that kind of
people.
shit happens.
Well, since you seem to know the best how you ended up here, perhaps you could share that with us?
Why not? Rode into town. Oh god, our horses. Rode into town. Weird, scrawny little man said he had a message from our father. Should have been more suspicious. Was definitely suspicious, not suspicious enough.
Do you often trust small, scrawny men who want to deliver messages?
How would they even know your father? Is he famous? Are you famous?
Yes, quite.
Not around here.
So I just look at the giant goat-headed statue and then look at these two very suspiciously.
My horns don't really. Oh, actually, no. Oh god, my horns look exactly like those kinds of horns. They're not like twirly goat's horns, but oops, yeah, no.
Mine are twirly goat's horns.
Bryn is gonna go and like get her weapons and stuff, and
Yeah, me too.
I'll have my hand hovering over my dagger then. Again, under my cloak, but I'm not particularly subtle about it.
Look, in the interests of expediency, given the circumstances, I know this particular spell, Zone of Truth, it prevents people from lying within it. What say I cast it around all of us just to move things along a bit?
Oh yes, I love to have spells cast on me.
Well, I had nothing to hide.
Yeah, same. Why not?
Fine with this.
All
Right,
right.
technical plane.
So I pull out my flute and I play a little trill of notes and cast the spell.
So, does anyone wish to roll their saving throw? You can choose to fail, or you.
Nah.
Happy to fail.
No,
Yeah, let's choose to fail.
I'm willing.
Okay. Fails all around. You play the flute, and you can see sort of like a silver, almost like a what is it? The heartbeat monitor in hospitals that kind of like bounces up and down, just starts to slowly circle around the radius of the six of you, and it just keeps like a slow, natural pace as it slowly circles around you.
Okay, so does anyone know exactly where this is and how to get out?
No.
I'm guessing a door.
On both counts, no.
I know where we are. We came into a house. I know where that is on the outskirts of town. I know that we went into a basement and followed a series of hidden doors. I imagine we can get out the same way we came in.
Presumably that door opens, but also, isn't there another door over there?
There is, yes.
Perhaps we go out instead of back into the place where we were purposely trapped.
Oh yes, perhaps we should try that door.
Wait, do you know why he was trying to trap you two? Because, I mean, I'm not sure how the rest of us got here, but if you're saying you walked in willingly, why, if he had a message from your father, why did he attack you?
He didn't have a message from our father. He was trying to do some, I don't know, he may not even be working for Asmodeus, but he said something along the lines of Asmodeus.
Is that
Okay, okay, I'm sorry, but
It's
working
not-
for Asmodeus seems like kind of an important thing to have been glossed over earlier. I think that
It wasn't glossed over, but the subject just changed very rapidly.
You can see the silver edge of the zone of truth is kind of like starting to bounce a little, as it's like it's not technically a lie, but it's.
Is that Asmodeus? Is anyone affiliated with whoever that is? And I'm just pointing at the statue, obviously.
God, no.
The
I
statue
actually-
being.
I think perhaps I miss a connection between this man who is a worshipper of Asmodeus, which is why you trusted him. He has a message from your father.
No, we stopped trusting him once he said he was a messenger of Asmodeus.
Okay. I don't even know who Asmodeus is, so.
Lords of Hell. Just,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah,
That's not him?
no.
Oh.
Wait, that isn't him. That would be.
It's a
Rehoboth.
representation. Like
Okay.
a goat-faced man is like a loose representation of the personification of a. It could be, but it also could just be like a hell figure sort of thing.
Well, so you two up in here. How did the rest of us get here? I was kidnapped.
there was a man, what I remember, what he was ordering, it was a very peculiar array of supplies that he was probably not happy that I overheard him ordering. You said that this man attacking you? Is he giving chase? Is there impending doom? Should we be moving out of here?
Well, I think he was trying to blow us up, to be fair.
Maybe we should try this one.
Maybe we
I
should. We
think
can
we're
have this conversation outside.
Yep, let's go.
Is there
Okay.
anything in this room as we make our way over there worth taking? Has he put any tributes out in front of this Goat face man.
So there is like a small basin in front of it that looks like it might have stained with blood at some point in the past. It's dry at the moment. On a table in the middle of the room, you could see a whole bunch of different maps with notes and drawings written all over it. You can see, again, those components for fireworks with sort of the arcane runes on the side, mixes of black and red powder all around in different containers on the side of the room. You can see there are 6 chairs around the center table. What else is in the room?
6 chairs, so he's not just a cultist all by himself. Yay!
Or are they meant for us?
Oh. Probably not.
Pretty good point.
Explains why I had no chairs up.
How do you know that?
Sorry.
The silver line starts like.
Bryn, while you're looking that up, we'll go and like try the door as well.
Sure. Okay, it appears to be locked.
Which way are the hinges facing? Like, is this a door that would be swinging into the room, or like?
It's a door that would be swinging into the room. Yes.
God damn it.
Can I inspect the rest of the walls to see if anything looks similar to what we've already?
Absolutely. Make an investigation check.
I would like to gather up all his papers just because I don't want him to have them, and I would also like to ruin the face of the goat man.
Make a straight. Make an insight check into his papers. What was the investigation check?
8.
8. And you were looking up for things along the walls?
Yes.
Yeah, along the walls, there's more like just generic infernal script and drawings and depictions of hell-like imagery here and there. But again, you know what like good tribute is, and this is like basic bitch. This is like baby's first Satanist ritual.
Aww.
It's very clearly designed to look intimidating, but not actually say anything intimidating.
Okay.
And Oriana, what did you get?
A dirty 20.
A dirty 20. So with a dirty 20, as you're sort of putting these papers together, you see a map of Goldford with different locations X'd all across the map to seem to cover a large portion of the city. You see paperworks that have different alchemical formulas, that some of which you recognize from the man's shop upstairs for fireworks. You also see different, almost like solution levels for mixing the alchemical formula for fireworks with something else. It stands out to you after seeing all of the components so starkly upstairs compared to looking at this formula now.
Do I know what it means? Or we're just like, this means something. I'll have to talk to somebody else later, because I'm okay with that.
With an insight, you can tell that it's different, but you don't know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say, yeah. There's not like a science roll for like looking at a formula and being like, yes, this is iron.
Roll for
Medicine?
Arcana? Would that be
Arcana?
Arcana?
Yeah. I mean, roll what you think. You tell me what you want to roll.
Did you do like nature? I mean, like, it's not
Yeah, that's
science,
what I was
but like...
thinking. Oh,
I guess like laws of nature also applies.
look, all of these suggestions for me are a +1, so it really doesn't matter. And that's another 16.
16?
So 17.
Something biological.
Exploding people. Sorry, that's
Did you
my
say
brain
that out
probably not
loud?
hers.
Did you say that out loud?
What?
Unless there's a little picture of a person written somewhere on this formula, I'm not going to say exploding people. If there's a little stick man drawn anywhere on there, I will say exploding people.
Sure. There's no stickman drawn on it. There are like red smudges of that red powder along the edges of the page.
Yeah, I have no idea what it means, but I'm going to take it with me.
So you said that he was going to burn this place down before, so do we just want to move right along outside?
There are
Oh, yeah,
two
we're,
doors in
we're
between us.
at the door.
The door's locked, so if anyone knows how to get around that door, keep an eye out for a key. Doesn't sound like the smartest man. Maybe there's a spare key down here.
Is it also a wooden door?
Yeah,
It is
exactly.
wood with iron band.
So, how
My
possible
servant.
is it to attack some hinges?
Okay. Meanwhile, my unseen servant is still around. He lasts for an hour, so I might quietly ask him to try to pick the lock on that door or just try to open it, but
Sure.
without anyone else knowing that I have an unseen servant that is
Sure.
working on the problem.
So you kind of whisper a little bit to your unseen servant. The rest of you see the silver line of the zone of truth kind of buzz a little bit, but not a lot. But nothing appears to happen. All right, who's doing what?
I'm gonna go after
Bren will
those
be looking
hinges.
for Bren will look for a key.
Sure, yeah, make an investigation check.
Look at these.
I would like to destroy Goatman's face.
Sure, yeah, make an attack roll.
I rolled a
Let's see.
natural 20, but it's -1.
I mean, with a natural 20 on investigation,
You cut out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking for a key. You look for. You immediately start looking over the pages that the tiefling has just stowed away. You kind of go through those. It's not in there. You look under the chairs, on the table. You look along some of the shelves, along the walls, on the sides. You check under the statue. She's like breaking its face. You look under the snout. There's nothing in there. You go over to like the black powder. There's nothing in there. You go over to the red powder. There's nothing in there. And then as you're going through the red powder, the smell kind of catches your attention for a moment. And you recognize this smell is sort of acrid and bitter and sour, almost like Squire's Bane. But there is no key in there. And finally, as you go through, you realize that there is no key in this room. With a natural 20, you can say with certainty the key is not in this room.
Key.
So
Is there any small like cask, like of the red powder? Is there
Yeah, there's
any
definitely, like, a jar.
small Okay, she's gonna take a jar of that.
Yeah.
That was a 15 to hit the statue, who I assume doesn't
You
have a
break off
particularly high
its snout, and it kind of breaks across the ground, and it kind of looks like this funny, like snub-faced, snub-nosed goat man.
Perfect.
It's still like making like this wicked like ass pose.
Perfect amounts of disrespect. I'm good.
Yeah. Natalie, you were going after some hinges.
Mm-hmm.
Make an attack roll for me.
That's an 18. And I'll assume I'm using, I guess, like hand axes because they're like smaller.
Sure. Yeah. A little more dexterity.
Yeah.
18 is a hit. Let's get some
So-
damage.
What the hell is making a d6? I know what that is. So that's like a 6 damage.
A 6 damage. Yeah, 6 damage is good. You get a good hit, and it's like this long metal hinge. You probably get about halfway through the metal and shear it down. It's not fully broken just yet, but you're about halfway.
Okay, perfect.
You reckon with a couple more strikes, you can break it free. Maybe if somebody helped you, you might have a little easier time.
I'll just like, once I hit it once, I'll just like motion to Brynjael and just be like, assuming that she's closest to the door, and just be like, and like nod my head in that direction.
Oh, sure, I can help out with that. And she doesn't really have anything. She's got a morning star or a halberd. So I
I feel
guess
like a morning star would do a fair bit. Like it's like a
Yeah, I think
fair,
she'll do a
like-
morning star.
So you're just gonna like bludgeon the hinge?
Well, look, she hasn't really got anything delicate that she can
I
do
can
in this situation. So yeah, wherever she's and weakened it, Brynjael would just like try and help bring the pain with this. Like,
awesome. Let's see that Morningstar attack.
10.
A 10? A 10 is not enough. Your Morningstar boom, bounces off. It's tough to get close to the wall and the door and hit the hinge without like hitting the door or missing.
If Natalie doesn't take another swing, she'd take another swing.
Sure. Does anyone else want to do anything while we're waiting here?
I would just like to look around the room. Not for like anything in particular, just see if like anything, like, since the honor, I wouldn't know that it's sort of like a fake kind of demonic ritual thing.
It looks real to you if you have no knowledge of. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna see if I like find anything that particularly catches my eye.
Make an investigation check for me.
Okay. That's an 18.
18. Some of the pages that the tiefling Oriana has taken and stowed have different arcane symbols written across them, and you recognize some of the handwriting on that paperwork with an 18. That looks very similar to the handwriting.
I have +4.
Jeez, with a 24, yeah, you definitely.
Sorry, I can't count.
That's still very good. You were able to recognize the handwriting to be the same as the old man who tried to kidnap you, failed, then went and got help.
Let someone else to do it.
Yeah, to do it instead.
Okay. So do I recognize any of what it says, or it's all?
Yeah, so they are alchemical and arcane formulas to create controlled fireworks, essentially.
I saw something similar to this in the house. So when I was, kidnapped, I was just going to get a magic lesson. And while I was there, I saw some books from my teacher, and he was making fireworks just like this. In fact, he definitely wrote this. I have an handwriting.
Well, do you think that we could maybe blow the door off its handles if this isn't working without blowing up the rest of the room, or too delicate?
I don't think that we could do it without. But we could try. Who knows? You make new characters for next week.
I mean, they're not doing a bad job at the hinges.
Yeah.
We can play with fireworks later.
That's fair.
Is there like fireworks stuff in the room as well?
Yeah, so you do notice there is black powder. You can see that there are a couple of like tubes that have these arcane runes etched on the side, filled with black powder that also have some red powder sprinkled in.
Okay.
Some of them have like the caps already screwed on. Some of them have the fuse set into the background. Something that you do notice though is that in order to etch these arcane runes, you need a specific arcanist toolkit, like a specific scribe. You do not see anything like that. However, on the middle of the table, there is a flint and tinder.
So this is. Do I get the idea that this is like set up to be like they're making this to go off somewhere else, or this is all set up for this room to be blown up?
Judging
Or
by
is it
the
just,
amount,
like, supplies?
like for the size of the tube for the fireworks for this much, there are a couple of barrels of black powder in the. For the number of tubes this much, you get the sense that like if you set off this room, it would absolutely blow up. But if all of the powder was for fireworks specifically, the fireworks are no longer here.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just gonna turn around and start helping Natalie and Brynjael with the door as well.
Yeah, Bryn would have taken another swipe at the door if no one else had.
Oh, I'm also swiping at the door. We can like do
Absolutely.
like a blacksmith's hammer kind of like ting
Yeah, the
ting
three
kind
go
of thing
like,
going on.
You're cycling back and forth against the door. Get the boom, falls to the ground. Eredan comes over and starts helping you guys with the second hinge. There are two more. Is there anything else anyone else wants to do in the meanwhile?
I'll take a seat in one of the 6 chairs and watch.
And did
Creaks and
Bryn...
one of the legs gives out.
did Bryn see any, like, with there was the red powder, did she see any of that root when she was the one that was the cure, the drugs root, was it?
So there was null root, which is the
Null
cure.
root, that was the one.
For Spire's Bane, there is no null root in this chain. Oh no, that's not true. There is one small jar that has enough for 1 serving of null root.
She would take that also.
Okay. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. I wrote that on my notes. Okay. The rest of you continue to hammer against the door and bang against it, and finally, cooking, the second hinge falls off, and a few minutes later, cooking, the third hinge falls off, and the door slowly starts to fall into the room. Does anyone catch it, or does it just fall to the ground?
Yeah, Bryn would try and, like, no loud noises kind of thing.
Sure.
Or is this like gently
lowering the door down?
Mm.
Yeah. The two of you collectively catch the door as it comes down. It's pretty hefty. It is iron banded, and you can see on the other side that it is also reinforced vertically against physical force.
Ooh.
You get the sense that someone really wanted this door to stay in place. You also can see that the lock of the door is brand new compared to the rest of the iron and the rest of the wood. The lock is brand new, very heavy duty.
That's vaguely suspicious.
Why would they need
This
a
whole
new
situation is
lock?
vaguely suspicious.
I think we've passed vaguely a long time ago.
I would say, how long does Zone of Truth last? 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, it's probably wearing off right about now. The silver line just kind of fizzles out. And...
As that goes, I'm like, oh, we happy? We all trust each other? Nobody lied?
Well, I don't think it's really a smart idea for us to innately trust each other because we didn't lie under very specific circumstance that meant we couldn't lie. But
That's a
I
good point.
feel that maybe we all want to get out of here, and I think that that's a fairly good reason for us to, at least for now, trust each other.
Hmm.
Common cause usually unites us. Shall we go?
Yes, please.
Let's.
Should we try and sneak up the stairs and take him by surprise?
It's a very small house up there. I'm assuming this tunnel goes somewhere entirely different.
Fair enough.
But we can sneak.
I'm not
I
so good at
suppose.
that, but I can try.
I also am not so good at that, but we can try.
I think the point will be that we tried.
So are we getting the party to stealthily in the hallway?
Yes.
Attempting to, I guess.
Yes.
I will make sure that either Bryn or myself, being like the heftier ones of us, like either she's at the front or I'm at the front, like, and the one who isn't, I'll
Sure.
try and like, so that we're like, front. If we walk into something, it's like we're just there.
You will be able to take hits, yes. Let's get everyone to roll stealth checks.
I did my other dice. Well, that's not good.
Sweet. Sick.
Oof.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
12.
It's a 9.
15. So I have a -1 again.
I have a -1.
So I'm just going to run through the order that you guys are on screen. Bryn?
Yeah, 3.
3.
Oh,
Natalie?
God.
4. Excellent. Aery?
15.
15. Okay. Oriana?
4.
Good start. Eminence?
9.
9. And lastly, Eredan.
21.
Oh my god.
21. Okay, so you kind of stand at the door and you almost take a couple of steps out, and as you do, you just hear this absolute cavalcade of noise of just armor and bags and cloth rustling, and you're of the Fae folk, as it were. You just immediately stop and are so jarred by these non-Fey folk trying to be stealthy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Natalie. Did you want to go first? Should I go first? I'm sorry.
I mean, I insist. After you, of course. Just like.
I mean, should we be keeping our voices down a little bit? Should we be keeping our voices down?
Just never mind. Let's just walk.
Oh, okay.
It's way too late.
I like to think at least myself, Oriana, and Aery are in like big heeled, chunky, sort of clunky shoes. Fancy. Maybe they jingle a bit.
Too much jewelry.
Aery has a lot of jewelry, but I'm all okay.
Yeah.
That is true.
So maybe the rest of you just fell back down the stairs.
Aery has a lot of jewelry, but also a lot of fine silks muffling that jewelry.
So the hallway continues straight for about 10 feet and then goes to the right. And you can actually see some torchlight coming down from the hallway to your right. You also can hear some noise. What sounds like movement and scrabbling.
We haven't walked too far yet. Can I go back and get a torch?
Yeah, totally.
Does everybody here have dark? I'm assuming everybody here has dark vision, but I would like a torch.
I believe so. I can. No need. I can just. And I just twist my hand, and like some dancing lights spawn and start hovering around in front of us.
At that point, you start to hear the crash of furniture as heavy things are being moved down the hallway in front of you.
So the scuttling we heard earlier, does that sound like people or does that sound like animals? Like, are we thinking like rats or are we thinking people?
Or are we thinking ratty people like that bastard upstairs?
Make an investigation check.
You don't want to make it a survival check.
I do not know.
That's a nat 12 that makes it 11.
An 11, it's movement. It could be a large rat or many small people.
We're either dealing with a large rat or maybe some small people.
Children?
Maybe. Good point. Do you think children have anything to do with sacrifice?
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, you can always sacrifice a child.
Right, then it's possibly children.
Okay. The hallway extends 10 feet from the door and curves off to the right.
Keep going.
Yeah, we go.
Awesome.
Bryn will have her morning star in her hand,
Yeah.
just in case.
Morning Star ready, Natalie right next to you. The two of you slowly make your way around the corner. In front of you, you can see it opens into a much larger room. There is a large, bright fire in the center of this room, maybe 20 feet long by 40 feet, this sort of rectangular room. Immediately you notice tables and benches have been knocked over and placed in front of the hallway entrance into the larger room. And peering out over the top of these benches and tables are many small green faces with long pointed ears and small fangs, all of them with crossbows. You can see one of them is holding a fork. Another one has like this rusty dagger. And the moment the two of you step out, these shots just immediately start flying down the hallway. We're going to get 2 attacks against Natalie because you are in front. Oh, that's a...
Are we assuming,
You
what are we
rested.
at for health-wise?
It has been more than 8 hours. You
Okay.
rested. Yeah.
Sure, let me put that in there.
Okay, so that is a 19 and a nat 20. So I think the nat 20 hits.
Don't think they hit, though.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that is 8 piercing damage from the 2 shots that strike against you. The other 2 will take attacks against Brynjael, getting a 22 and a 22. Wow. Why
yes,
is it
they
my
definitely
dice?
both hit.
Why do my dice roll well when I'm a dungeon master? I played one game player like a week ago, and it was like 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, and now I'm the DM, and it's like 19, 18. They do know. That is an 11 total piercing damage from these 2 attacks that strike against you. And you have an opportunity to step back around the corner, behind cover. I'll give you a quick moment to react to these prepared actions before we roll for initiative.
Bryn would just yell out and say, "Look, that's really not necessary. This is going to be lots more trouble than it's worth. Keep this up. Let us just pass, please."
With the crossbow bolt sticking out of your abdomen.
Yeah, she can give a fuck.
One of the voices screams out, "Get fucked!"
Okay, well now you can't say that we didn't warn you.
Okay, let's roll for initiative.
Wait, did you say we got an action before initiative started? Or was it just the two at the front?
So I was just giving those two at the front because they were coming around the corner. They took the hit that hit them by surprise.
Oh, can I do
if
like
you would like to step out of cover...
Oh no, I just wanted to cast mage armor on myself because I don't want to die.
Sure. Yeah, I'll let you cast mage armor. You see them get hit by crossbow. Like, oh, this...
Like, doop.
Yeah. Natalie?
Oh, I was
Did
just
we
gonna
roll
say,
initiative while I wasn't here?
We're doing
No,
that now.
we're about to.
yeah. Natalie would like to, after Brynjael's comment, she'll just do a bit of a war cry. In, like, her best, like, guttural orcish tone that she can do. I won't do it because it will blow up my mic. But...
You can see that some of the goblins immediately look surprised and then look back. One of them kind of hunkers down and drops his crossbow. Yeah, let's get initiative for everyone. Natalie, what did you get?
4.
4. Aery.
9.
9. Oriana.
0?
Oh no.
0. Love it. Eminence.
16.
16. And Eredan. Whoops.
7.
7. And Brynjael.
9 also.
9. Okay. Well, the goblins just took their turn, so you can see behind the tables and benches that have been knocked over, there are some more goblins. One of them has what looks like the remains of a crate that has been reassembled. He picks it up and throws it on the ground, and it kind of explodes as wooden shrapnel goes everywhere. And almost immediately you hear as rats come pouring out of this crate and start swarming across the floor towards you. Yeah, they start moving down the hallway towards you. They're not going to reach on this round. Eminence, you are up first.
So is this a straight hallway, or we had a corner to go around?
Yeah, so it's an L
I'm
hallway.
Currently not in their line of sight.
Yes, you are not. So the room opens up like over here, and they're like all guarded at the door, but you're like down here at the L hall. Wow.
Cool.
Webcams are weird, huh?
Let's see. No, I won't do that.
Aery, you're on deck.
Just wondering if there's very much that I can do. All right, I will
peek out,
cast.
use a spell, and go back if you like.
Yeah, I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy
Okay.
to make my voice huge and booming and masculine, and shout, "Throw down your weapons, fools!"
Okay, is this supposed to intimidate or persuade?
I'm gonna go persuasion, actually. I'm gonna try to whatever stupid goat demon they were trying to
Okay, yeah.
worship.
Yeah, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Ooh, I'm persuasive. Oh, hell yeah. 21.
21, awesome. Bryn and Natalie, the two of you see another pair of goblins look at each other and look down the hallway, and simultaneously they both drop their crossbows and raise their hands like this. But stepping into view, you can see another goblin, this one a little bit larger, missing part of his upper lip over here, so it's just like fangs hanging out, kind of like Two-Face from Batman. He smacks one of them on the head and says, "All right, pick up your weapons!" And they quickly scramble and pick up their weapons and reload them back down the hallway.
No, don't. What?
No,
do you want to move or do anything else?
Look, no, not really.
All right.
I'm pretty keen staying behind cover.
Always a safe call. Aery, you're up, and Bryn, you're on deck.
Can I see the rats in the hallway?
So I imagine you're like just on the back half of the L. Or step out and like cast a spell, or and then
Okay.
step back.
Yeah, I just want to do that, peek around and step out, and then
Yeah.
be like, ah,
And you-
and then
You see like overturned tables. You see goblins. Rats are starting to swarm over.
oh, if I can see the goblins from there, I will. That was gonna target, but fuck it. I will cast Chromatic Orb at
Oh, jeez.
the one closest, I guess.
Yeah.
jeez, Aery.
Oh, jeez, Rick.
Oh no.
Is that spell save?
It's a ranged attack. So
Okay, make an attack roll.
that was a 12, and I add my spell attack.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so
Spell
plus
attack
6,
on
so
18.
18.
18. Yeah. What
yeah.
damage type do you want to use?
I am going to use poison.
Poison. Okay. So you step forward. You immediately see oh, that's a problem. And just hurl this small 4-inch orb of roiling green gas that spins through the air. One of the goblins ah, and it just catches him right in the mouth and erupts into this green gas. He kind of and slumps over dead on top of the barricade.
Oh, I didn't even have to roll my damage?
He has 7 hit points. Okay, anything else you want to do?
Yeah, just I'm gonna scooch back, seeing the rats coming, I'm gonna scooch right back.
Okay.
So the first thing the rats do get to me, and they just walk up against me.
Yeah, you back right the heck up. Bryn, you are up. Eredan, you're on deck.
So she's gonna pull out her halberd.
Uh-huh.
And she's going to move back out of the hallway. Are any within range of her to move into combat with? Were there just those? There was
So it's a 10-foot by 10-foot hallway.
Okay.
So if
And-
halberd gives you a range of 10 feet, so you would
It does.
step out, have to attack over the barricade, and then you could probably step back into cover.
Okay. And there were just the 3. And
So
the
there are 3
swarm of
still
rats.
on
the
the
one that's
barricade.
Reese on the barricade. All right, she is going to attack, I guess, the closest one.
Sure. Give us an attack roll.
14.
14 is not enough. As you step forward with this massive halberd ready to try to catch one of the goblins, he ducks and disappears behind the table, and the halberd sinks into the wood. And even the force of your strike is enough to slide the table a couple of inches back before you pull your halberd back out of the wood.
Okay, she is going to actually stay in a position that all of them are in her range, and she is going to cast Shield of Faith on herself. Was it Shield of Faith?
Okay.
Shield of Faith. So she has very Aurora Borealis-esque mist, just spread out and then just surround her. And she's standing her ground.
Okay, yeah. You stand your ground. Shield of Faith. I'm trying to see where that is on your character sheet. Is that under spells?
It is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. +2 to AC. Gotcha. Awesome. Okay. So you stand your ground. This sort of shimmering aura around you. Eredan, you are up, and I believe... Yes, you are up.
Cool. All right. So I'm going. You said there's 2 goblins further back that are pretty close together.
Yes, behind the barricade, you can see that larger goblin with part of his upper lip missing. He's got this rusted, notched scimitar, and he's just kind of standing there waiting. He actually sees Brynjael, and he seems to be getting ready to make some sort of aggressive action towards Bryn.
All right. So if I drop Shatter, am I gonna hit Bryn as well?
Oh, Bryn is in front of you.
Because it's a fair distance away.
It's a cone, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's a 10-foot radius sphere. So if like they're far enough away.
Yeah, you can definitely. What is that? 60 feet? Oh yeah, totally. You can set it up in such a way that it like hits in the room and doesn't get Bryn.
Cool. That's what I do then.
Okay, yeah. So
they have to take Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. Oh man. So that's gonna be 4 of the goblins and the goblin boss. Jeez. What's your DC?
My DC is, where is it? Everything's in a different spot. My DC is 13. Sorry.
13. Okay. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. And that guy too. Wow. 4 of them fail. 1 of them succeeds. What's your damage?
My damage is. I don't have a dice. I need a red one. There we go. Sorry, just picking up the right dice. So it's 3d8.
Yep.
And 7, 8, 9, 10, 15.
15. Yeah. Halved on that guy. The 3 goblins at the barricade are standing. You can see they've loaded ready. They've got them aimed at Bryn right in front of them, and almost immediately afterwards, this massive shatter sound, the echoing of this massive piercing noise shockwave strikes against them. You can see they suddenly go rigid, and blood starts to come out of their ears and nose as they slump down. 3 of the goblins dead behind the barricade, meaning that the barricade is now completely undefended, and 1 of the goblins inside the room. The goblin boss, however, he stands his ground, and as the shatter goes off, he kind of flinches a little bit, but then looks down the hallway and death in this ear.
Cool.
Awesome. Do you want to hide or stay in the hallway or anything else?
I'm just gonna make sure I'm now positioned behind either Bryn or Natalie.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough. It is actually the goblin boss's turn, so he shall take it. He will leap over the barricade and start attacking Brill. Raises his scimitar as he takes 2 swings. Second attack has disadvantage. Okay. Well, that's a natural 1. And the other one is a 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 to hit? 8 doesn't hit, does it?
That does not hit.
He swings these 2 wild strikes at you, and it is just, you can very clearly tell, like, his sense of equilibrium has been upset. He lands on the ground and immediately, like, goes sideways like this, like, ah! So fair, it seems like the spell did have some sort of effect on the goblin. But that is his turn. He swings and misses. Natalie, you are up.
Nate. I guess kind of like, because combat works like this, after the yelling from what feels like an age ago, Natalie will enter a rage.
Yeah. This is all happening super fast.
Yeah. And just checking, so we have a swarm of rats that is coming towards us.
Yes.
There is 2 standard goblins and 1 goblin boss, right?
1 goblin boss and 2 standard goblins, yes.
Yes. The goblin boss has just jumped over the barricade, so the other 2 are still protected by this table.
They're further inside of the room. You can see those were the 2 that like picked up crates and threw them down, releasing these rats.
Right.
They pulled out like rusty short swords.
I guess I should deal with the rats. Yep, they're gonna do that. I will attempt to move into the room and dispose of the rats with my great axe.
Okay. So.
Don't laugh at me.
Yeah.
It's just the thought of you flying into a raid. Rats.
Go ahead.
I know, just like
and
So damn gross.
I don't want to kill rats, but it's also like
Super Smash.
what else do I do?
Take an attack roll.
So D12. It is a 12 plus 5, fucking 17 to hit. I'm gonna assume
17
that's
definitely hits.
Yep, cool. D12 got a solid 1.
Hey.
So that's plus 3, and then plus 2 with rage. So
4,
6.
6. Okay, yeah. You raise your great axe and slam it down, and you catch 3 rats. You get the sense that physical attacks like this are not exactly super effective against swarm creatures.
But I cast axe, like.
I cast
on.
axe at damage level.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I can't do anything else.
Yeah,
I'm a melee
you kind
character.
of raise your axe and take a breath, and there's just like a single rat tail like stuck to the side of the axe, like dangling there, and you're like, okay, Oriana, you're up.
How many rats are left? I mean,
There are 2 rat swarms.
how many are in a swarm, though? What exactly does a swarm mean?
You can't tell they're swarming.
Exactly, yeah. At least several dozen.
Okay. Is there anywhere I can stand in this room where I can make a 15-foot cone that's not going to hit any of my friends, but also a fuck ton of rats?
Considering how one of your allies is standing in a swarm of rats to like strike at
Well, no,
them,
there are 2 swarms of rats.
there is. You could target one of the
Couple
swarms
ones.
and not hit Natalie.
Depends if you really
Or
care
you
about
could
that
try to
anyway.
hit both, but also potentially hit Natalie.
I don't want to set Natalie on fire. I don't know her very well yet, but I don't really want to set her on fire. So
Hi, I just met you. We're not lying. You're on fire.
we can be kind of friends. Let's work together. Sorry, you were in my way. There were a lot of rats.
But is that Oriana though?
Yeah. There
Look, a
are
little
still
bit, but
2
she's also trying
goblins.
to make a good impression.
There are still 2 goblins inside of the room.
That's true. Goblins are probably slightly more important than rats. Okay, I will ignore the rats. Sorry. Well, what are they gonna? They're gonna fucking nibble you to death. You'll be fine.
Fine, I'll let them on you.
I will cast Sacred Flame at one of the goblins.
Is that a spell save?
Yes, of 12. I'm not really fussed which goblin it is.
Sure. Oof. Spell save wisdom?
No, it's Dex, I think, for Sacred Flame.
Dex. Okay, he got a 16.
Ew.
So the goblin's looking down the hallway, and as you step out, he devil, and leaps out of the way as your bolt of fire soars through.
Okay, what have I got for a bonus action? I did have an idea for this, and then I completely entirely forgot what it is. As a bonus action, I will cast Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay.
So much faith in this room.
There's a lot of faith. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Awesome. The 2 goblins that are inside of the room will collapse onto Natalie, because you are right there, I'm afraid.
I think that's fair.
They will attack you with advantage because you are engaged with a swarm of rats.
Mhm.
16.
To hit, yes.
Okay, and the second one gets a 16 as well.
Yas.
Yas. So that is 12 total slashing damage from the 2, as they both they surround you from both sides and like, kill the big woman. But look, they probably come up to like the middle of your thighs. They're not super.
That's still quite a lot. Anyway.
Sure. Okay, so they take their turns. They surround. That means up next is a swarm of rats. Love it. This one is going to attack you because you are right there. it is going to have advantage because you're engaged. How's a 12 to hit?
No, that does not hit.
Okay, yeah. The rats sort of swarm on top of you, and you just brush them off. One of the goblins swings, actually, like, cuts one of the rats as it's about to bite you, and you're like, oh, nice. The other swarm is going to finish going over the barrier, move past Bryn towards, I believe, Eredan. You were behind Bryn, correct?
Will that move out of my
Yes.
attack range?
It will. Both Bryn and Natalie will get attacks of opportunity.
Cool. Neat. So that's a 23.
25.
25 hits. Let's get some damage.
That's 20. No, not 20. That's not 20. No, 9 plus 3 plus 2. To 14.
Yeah. And Bryn?
Sorry, I had the wrong die. Ooh.
Rolling a D100 for damage here.
I was going to roll a D8, but it's a D10. She does 9.
9. Okay. What
Who's
is this?
listening to what?
What just happened? What was that?
That was perfect, and I'm so
Yeah.
confused.
What was that? Whose audio?
I have no idea.
Mine.
It was muted.
The rats are going to swarm up onto Eredan, and in game terms, this means that they're sharing the same space. What that means, if you attack the rats with a melee attack or a projectile attack, there's a chance that if you miss, you hit Eredan. With their attack, they get a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
That is 8 piercing damage as the rats just quickly. All right, you all right? Still alive?
Who? What?
You
We
took 8
make
points of damage.
No.
9 points of damage. You're all right?
What?
Me?
Yes,
Into
Eredan.
Yeah.
Eredan.
Yes. Sorry.
Oh, I
yeah,
think it must
yeah,
have
yeah.
cut out when
I
you
was-
said the 9. So
Yeah,
that
I
was why
did.
we're confused.
Sorry, I was just waiting for you to tell me the number.
That awkward moment, like, how much damage is it? All right. Yeah? Sorry.
Someone half health. All good.
I swear at this microphone sometimes. Eminence, you're up. Aery, you're on deck.
Okie dokie. So, both of the swarms of rats, aren't they? I couldn't really target them without hitting.
Yes, so one of the swarms of rats has swarmed up onto Natalie, the other one has swarmed up onto Eredan.
Cool, okay. I'm gonna poke my head around the corner. Can I?
You cut out, can you see what?
The big guy.
The big guy, yes. He's standing in the middle of the hallway with the scimitar, trying to one-on-one against Bryn, who's probably twice his height.
Wonderful. I am going blindness at him.
Blindness. Okay. Does he
Yes.
need to make a spell save?
Constitution save.
Oh. It rolled off of a 4 to an 18.
Oof.
Oof. Huh.
Does an 18 succeed, or do you want me to check his modifier? It's just 18.
Okay. Yeah, so my save DC is 13, so he saves me. Fuck.
He is still swinging.
Ooh.
As you cast that spell at him, he kind of looks down the hallway and sees blind in this eye. Gets ready to keep attacking. Okay. Is there anything else you want to do?
Yeah. There isn't much else I can do.
Okay. Aery, you are up. Bryn, you're on deck.
I apologize for any weird noise. I'm seeing my dad's in the roof. I
Oh.
feel like
Is he singing? Because that would explain what happened before.
unfortunately he's not. That wasn't for me. But yeah, blood pumping.
My phone? No, my phone's on silent. I don't know what happened.
I think it was probably my phone because that is my ringtone, but I can't.
It sounded like it was close to the microphone, so it can't be too far.
Somewhere.
Anyway.
I'm just watching Jimmy be like,
Awesome.
Okay. Yes. So, don't super know how. Oh my god. How to fight rats. So I'm just going to. What the fuck is he doing up there? I'm just gonna chromatic orb again at the guy in the hallway.
Spell attack.
Yeah. Oh. 18 plus 6.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
The first one fell off my desk, by the way.
Okay, sure. That's fine.
Okay. Roll damage?
Damage, yeah.
Okay. It's 3d8. That is a 3. That is a 5.
8.
That is also a 5.
13.
13.
13.
What type of damage is it?
Acid.
Acid. Okay.
Ooh.
You strike out with this orb of acid. The goblin is looking down the hallway like, blinded this eye. The acid catches him on the other side of the face, and he, blinded both eyes.
Yes! Did it!
Sorry! I'm just gonna
Is there anything else you
down the
wanna do?
hall. No, I'm just gonna back down the hall. Away from the rats.
Awesome.
Back it up. Oh, shit.
Bryn, you're up. Eredan, you're on deck.
Alright, she is going to. Where she's standing versus where Natalie is standing is. They're like. Was I to do something in a conical shape, would I have opportunity to hit something? Obviously, not the rats that are Natalie, but the goblins that are flanking? Are they standing in front of her or behind her? Like, would I be able to hit them
They're on
all?
side to side of her. Like, she's in the middle from your perspective, and the goblins are to the left and right of her.
So, would I be able to, like, hit one of them? Like, I want to aim for the boss and one that's, like, on her other side.
You can definitely line it up to hit one of them and the boss.
Bryn is going to, like, take half a step back and brace herself, and she is going to use Frost Breath. So it's a DC 14.
Con?
Wait. I think for the frost, it just says DC 14. Maybe dexterity?
I think Dex sounds right. The ability to, like, dodge out of the...
Constitution.
Constitution.
Wait, no.
Okay, I was wrong.
Oh, no, that's mine, is Constitution modifier plus proficiency.
I'm going to say Dex.
Say for breath weapon, it just says
that's
DC
fine.
14.
I got a natural 20 for the goblin boss.
Mm-hmm.
For the goblin, he got a 9.
Okay, so the goblin fails, and they take 2d6. So that's 11. So
Awesome.
total 6 and a 5.
Yeah, the goblins still have 7 hit points. So
Yes.
he swings at Natalie and gets like a good strike against her back. There's some blood spread, and he's kind of like and he'll to lick his scimitar in like some gross manner, and almost immediately this cone of cold comes by, and he's like frozen, like and falls over and shatters.
So that's 5 for the goblin boss, is it? Because it's takes half damage on a success.
Yeah, he has 1 hit point. So he also goes down. You freeze him. He's like trying to hold on to his eyes, like and then you just freeze him in place, and the goblin boss dies, like hands in his face, hunched over, in this small, sad, weak position.
No, we did warn you. We tried to negotiate.
Anything else you want to do?
She doesn't really have anything that she can help Eredan with at the moment, so she's going to move in, hoping that the other people will help Eredan, and she is now going to, like, position herself on the other side, like, so that she's flanking the goblin.
Yeah. So there's 1 goblin left in between you and Natalie, 1 swarm of rats on Eredan, and 1 swarm of...
Yeah, so she fold over, flank goblin boy.
Speaking of which, Eredan, you are up, and Natalie, you're on deck.
Yep. Okay, so how, like, when you say there's rats all over me, is it like swarms and swarms, like hundreds and hundreds, or is it like 6 or 10 or something manageable?
Multiple dozens.
Yeah, okay. Oh, fuck. I'm not sure there's much I can do. I guess. I could just drop and roll.
Okay.
Squash the rats with your body.
I've got limited options. Yeah, alright.
Sure. Yeah. I'll let you drop and roll to try to get off.
Alright, so I'll try that. What would that be? Like a dex roll or something?
I'll say
know.
your for the purpose of this rolls, we can do like a grapple style rules. So
Yeah,
why don't you
okay.
do acrobatics or athletics, and the rats will just do straight athletics to hold on.
Sick. I'll do acrobatics.
They got a 2.
7 plus 4 is
2
11.
minus 1 is 1. Yeah, great. So you drop to the ground and immediately just quickly roll over, and your
Oh,
cape.
we.
We lost.
Okay, we're back.
Your cape sort of catches on the rats, and you're able to roll away from the cape, like it pulls free from your neck, and you're able to stand completely separated from the pack of rats. You have successfully escaped them.
Cool. All right. So I guess as my bonus action, can I give, say, Megan a round of bardic inspiration? So I
Sorry,
pull
who
out
dat?
my. Sorry, Natalie. Oh no, that's inevitable. All right, so I just pull out my flute and play a little trill and just go, "You can do it! You can do it! Yes, you can!"
The cheerleader from the back. I love it.
Pom-pom!
Yeah.
We gotta get him some pom-poms.
You throw in a high kick.
B.
Yeah, sure. I'm throwing a high kick. I'm not doing that in class. That's never happened.
Okay, you have bardic inspiration.
Neat.
Anything else, Eredan?
No, that's it.
Okay, do you want to move or just hold your ground?
I mean, run as far away from the rats as I possibly can, but like,
Okay,
that's about
they
it.
will get an opportunity attack if you try to leave.
What's my health? Well, yeah, it's still probably worth it.
Okay. Has a 19 to hit.
Yeah, so they hit. What do they do?
For 4 piercing damage this time.
Cool. All right, so I'm still moving.
Yeah, but you are able to get away from the swarm. Some of them like grab on, crawl up onto your legs and start biting at your legs and shins, but you kick them off and get free in time. Natalie.
So I'm currently covered in a swarm of rats. Plus,
Yes.
there is a goblin in melee
Goblin.
range. Is that right?
Yep.
Cool. Am I inhibited by the fact that I have a swarm of rats on me?
Not even a little bit.
Cool. I don't care about the rats. I want to hit the goblin.
Yeah. You do have advantage because Bryn is on the other side.
Cool. Neat. All right. I will roll my 2d20s. So that is a 22 with
22.
12 damage.
Okay. You absolutely just decapitate this goblin. Like, he slashed you across the chest. He got like that bright crimson flash of blood. It was like, ha ha, we can do it! And almost immediately, woof, your own axe comes across the side and just the head lets out this sad sound as it falls to the ground, dead.
Neat. Yeah.
Go for it.
I don't think I can do anything else, so I guess I'll just stand there with a swarm of rats coming up my legs or something.
Yeah. Look at the rest of the party like,
Well,
Bryn
Oriana,
and
you're up.
Natalie just thumbs up at each other.
Yeah.
rat just climbs up the thumb like.
Oriana?
It's muted. At least I didn't disconnect trying to unmute.
Yeah.
Although it was on my mic, so that would have been impressive and very, very dumb. Okay. We still have the one goblin boy?
Goblins are all dead. There are 2
Goblins
swarms
are all
of
dead,
rats.
okay. I was
One
joking.
is on your side of the barricade that was attacking Eredan, who the hallway. The other one is swarming on now.
God, I really don't have anything that's not going to set everybody else on fire to attack these rats.
So one swarm of rats is not currently on a group of people. It's just kind of at the foot of the barricade. It looks like it's getting ready to swarm down the hallway though.
Okay, so I ask me question again. Can I make a 15-foot cone and not hit any of my new colleagues? And get them rats?
Yes. So you would have to go and walk up next to the rats and like do.
I am okay with that.
Sure. Yeah.
I will walk up towards the rats. I will cast Burning Hands at them.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Spell attack?
Is it an attack?
But
No, they have to make a save.
Con, isn't it?
Oh,
They have
con
to make
save?
a save. Dex save.
Dex save.
I said it was a
Okay.
dex save.
I got a 10.
They fail.
Yes. Let's get some damage.
Okay, let me just mute while I get things out of my jar.
And roll many dice. I feel like we could have narrated over the sound effects for you. For
It was a
yeah.
Okay, that's a 5 and a 1 and one that I have to re-roll because it rolled off my desk. But it's a 6 and I'm very upset about that.
Ah.
Oh, it's a 6 anyway.
Hey, so 6, 5, and a 1 for 12 total.
Yeah.
anyway,
Awesome.
Fuck them rats.
The rats immediately start trying to swarm to you as you get closer, and you just kind of kneel down and poof, put out a burning hands, and there's just like a great big as this smoke plume erupts out from the force of this fiery blast, and you can see more than half of the rats have been roasted and charred, and are sort of letting up this almost acrid odor. The smoke now coming off of their bodies. However, half the swarm is still alive.
Oh, that's very annoying. That at least is tough.
That brings us to, hey, the swarm of rats in question. They will swarm up onto you and take an attack.
Oh, wait. Are they on
Yep.
fire?
No. You're just like, no.
What have I done to myself?
Swarm of rats cast burning paws.
Yeah, exactly. How is a 5 to hit?
Nope.
Okay, they swarm up onto you, and you're just like, no, and you just kick them off. You do like the Russian dance, and like tiptoe kick them off. The other swarm is on Natalie. It's already on you, so it's just going to attack.
Fair.
7 to hit.
Yeah, that really does. It hurts my heart. It doesn't hurt my body, but it hurts my heart.
They just start biting into you, and you just start flexing. And their little rat teeth just cannot puncture the muscle that you've cultivated over years of training and practice. That's the rat's turn. Eminence, you're up. Aery, you're on deck.
Yeah, there's not a lot I can do about the rats without doing more damage to you than would. But they are attacking my sister. I mean, I don't care about Natalie. So, I mean, I guess I can try to help them. Get out my dagger and just sort of stab at whatever I can reach on her.
Okay, are you trying to get the rats off of Natalie, or was it the one in the hallway still?
I thought Oriana had some rats on her. Did you get them all off?
I avoided the rats.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. She's a stranger to me.
Okay. We all make choices.
Yeah, Eminence, good ones. There's just not a lot. I don't care. I step back and watch.
Okay, you don't do anything? Fair enough. Yeah. Aery.
I still don't know how to fight rats. So I'm gonna target a goblin boy.
There are no more goblin boys.
Oh wait! Oh, I thought there was one left. Okay, well I guess I'm gonna shoot a spell at a rat. On the back. To use firebolt in here. Can I just try and like use my wand to just like flick some of the rats off of Eredan?
Sure, I'll say you can. The rats are no longer on them. He was able to escape and get free. And he ran back down the hallway. Oriana walked up and used burning hands on the rats that are still in the hallway, and half
I
of the
thought they
swarm.
turned back onto him.
No.
Some of them got like opportunity attacks, but he kicked them off.
Oh, right. Okay, my bad.
Yep.
Okay.
So there is one swarm next to Oriana that's not on.
Does it look like there's any gunpowder in our vicinity?
In the next room, no, there is no gunpowder in the next room. You do see there are like buckets of berries and red powder, and like
Yeah, I'm not gonna use Firebolt. Okay. I guess I will. Oh wait, what's it? I'm going to. No, then I would have to touch a rat.
Sorry, that's
Worst.
range touch.
Yeah, I'm gonna run away.
Okay, you run away.
What's my time?
Bryn.
She is going to look at the rats covering Natalie. Does she see over, like, because if she's facing back towards the tunnel, because she's on the other side of Natalie, does she see Eminence and Aery just, like, doing fuck all, just being like, I'm not... Like,
Yeah,
does she
there's
notice that?
probably a moment where like you see like Aery getting ready with the spell and like nah, and like put it away, and Eminence has just folded her
Just
arms.
standing there.
I like
Yeah.
to think Aery and I are standing next to each other, just kind of change look, like
Yeah, what can I do?
Bryn's just gonna, and she's gonna try and. I'm sorry, I'm going to try my best not to hit you, and she's gonna use her morning. She's not super smart, like at least her heart's in the right place, okay?
You're
Don't
gonna
at me.
dust her with the morning star.
Yes.
Okay, give us a roll.
Could end up some tenderized steak, but you know, like.
She's raging.
Then we'll cook you too.
That would be a warhammer.
19.
19 is
Tenderized.
more than enough. You hit the
Okay,
damage.
so Morningstar is D8. That was the D8, not. Hey, 8. So that is 12.
12. Awesome. You take the morning star and you're like, no, just turn like a little bit, and Natalie rotates a bit, and you're just woof, and swipe right in front of your face, and a bunch of rats hit the ground, necks broken and dead.
That went surprisingly well. I really wasn't expecting for you to not have a scratch on you. I had healing very much prepared for after this.
Is there anything else you want to do?
Were that all of the rats off of her? Or was that...
No, there is still a small, like heavily reduced swarm.
Okay.
I'd say there's probably about 7 or 8 left.
Yeah, she'll just stay there. And
Okay.
just, like...
Awesome. Eredan, you're up. Natalie, you're on deck.
So, I'm just gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself because I'm on 5 hit points. So that is 1d8 plus 3.
Uh-huh.
D8, and I 4. Fuck me.
Bum, 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 bum.
I guess that's my turn.
Anything else you want to do? Or
Great.
just the healing word?
No, that's it. Sorry, I'm having massive problems with the
No worries.
beyond. I accidentally just killed myself in it.
How do you even?
I hit
Yeah,
damage
I see it happen.
Oh.
instead of heal.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you do negative and then you do damage, it gives it back. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Natalie, you're up. Oriana, you're on deck.
All right. I'm gonna.
I like how
just...
the goblins were like the big threat, and now everyone's like, rats!
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Look, Natalie's not too fussed about the ones on her. She's more worried about her new friends not knowing, having her back turned when they all ran away. So she's going to spread her great axe out and kind of like slam it on the ground in like a flat kind of
You're gonna
way.
pancake them?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh boy. Yeah, give us an attack roll.
So that's a 12 plus 5. I've literally done that maths like 3 times tonight.
17.
And I can't do it. So that's actually a 12 on my d12. So that's plus 5 as well.
17?
So
yeah,
solid
17 hits. Let's get damage.
No, that's it. It's 17 damage.
Oh, so you did 17. 12 on a d12.
So I
got you.
12.
Yeah.
Nat 12, which is 17 plus everything. And then I did a d12 as 12, plus 3 plus 2. So
yeah,
17 also.
Awesome. So you raise the axe and smack it down, and there's just like a wet crunch as your axe hits the ground. You don't even like hit the stone underneath. There's enough rats for you to get like a wet squish. And you have to pry your axe a little bit off the ground and shake off some of the viscera.
Still covered in some rats.
It's on its last legs. Oriana, you are up.
I have an idea, but I need to run it by you first. Am I allowed to use Mage Hand to pick up some rats and just yeet them at a wall?
Sure. I'll consider that to be like just a throwing attack.
Okay. I mean,
So make
pick up
an
some rats.
Arcana check for me, I think.
Okay.
This is probably the best way to do it.
Plus 1, 17.
17, yeah. There's like 3 or 4 rats left, and they're like half wounded, like one broken leg, and they're like hissing at you as they start trying to crawl closer and closer. And you just Mage Hand pick them up into the air. Their like claws are swinging wildly. Go ahead and take an attack roll for damage. Oh gosh, what is this going to be?
Unarmed strike.
Yeah, what is that? Like a 1d4? Let's do 1d4 plus your int modifier. Because you're using your spell, like your magical knowledge. Actually, no, what's your spellcasting? Is it int?
My spellcasting is charisma, so it's the plus 4.
Yeah, so let's do your spellcasting modifier for charisma and 1d4.
Well, that's a 1, so it's a 5.
5 is more than enough. They had 2 hit points left. So they're and you're just like, and just fling them across the room and they fall to the ground dead. There is still one swarm on Natalie, still alive. They're going to take their attack and get an unnatural 20, dirty 20.
Ooh.
That is 1 point of damage.
Oh, I can't even halve that. Like, it's not even possible.
Yeah, it's one flat point. It would be less sad if it were a 2 and you could have it, but nope.
Is it sad that I'm not even half health yet? Like,
Thank Lord.
They just keep biting and swarming all over you. Eminence, you are up. Aery, you're on deck.
I'll just kind of shout at Natalie, try rolling! And I remain leaned against the wall.
Yeah. Aery?
Well, after seeing Oriana use Mage Hand, I remember that I learned Mage Hand before it got knocked the fuck out. And so I'm gonna try and use Mage Hand to like pry a rat off of Natalie.
Yeah. Straight Arcana check.
Okay. 11.
11 is enough. You get 2 rats off of Natalie, but you have them like by the upper torso, so their legs are like like kicking in the air.
And you're like, just further to the wall.
Okay, same thing. 1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Okay. That's a 1, I think, plus 4. It's really dark in here now.
Yeah, that happens when the sun goes down. Bryn, you're up. Eredan, you're on deck. Sorry, I don't mean to like sass out of the
How many rats are still on Natalie? at this stage?
If I were to assign a proportional value, I would say about 5 worth of rats.
So, like, compared to a swarm, not many. Like, it's a pretty thinned out.
It's pretty thinned out.
Bryn is she's gonna unarmed, like, strike equivalent, I guess. She's just gonna start
punching.
Well, just kind of just ripping them off and throwing them against the wall. Like if your cat catches a mouse and you like do the base of the tail and hit it against the ground to like put it out of its misery, kind of mercy kill these rats.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, give us an attack roll.
18 plus.
That's more than enough.
Okay, yeah. It's just flat 5 damage. Apparently, her unarmed strike.
Okay. You just bat some of these rats off of Natalie. Like some of them are going for a base, and you're backing them off. Natalie, it's just hands. But it's still alive.
More elusive than I would have thought that they were.
They're quick. They're quick little bastards. Eredan, you're up.
Cool. Look, I've got limited options, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, I guess pull out, I've got a pair of short swords, so I'm gonna pull one of them out and start, I guess. The rats aren't on anyone, are they?
They're on Natalie right now.
Oh,
there's like half a dozen rats left on Natalie.
Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna walk over to Natalie and just start yanking rats off her.
Sure. So if you're deliberately yanking them off, I'll just have you make acrobatics or athletics, I think.
Yep. All right.
Because you're not attacking. You're not going to hit her just by like grabbing them off.
Just like randomly grab a bicep, do yourself damage. You
know? You got
13, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do not get any biceps. You do get the rats, and you're able to pull them off and knock them onto the ground next to the rest of you. Anything else you want to do?
I guess. What have I got to do? Nah, that's it.
Okay, Natalie, you are up.
I'm still covered in rats, right?
No, Eredan was able to walk up and swat them off of you. So they're on the ground next to you.
Sure. In similar, I imagine it kind of like the way that, you know, when you're in Animal Crossing, when you're trying to use a bug net? I'm going to try the axe flat thing again and just do a solid...
Okay. Okay, yeah. Give us a roll.
So that's not much, but it's a 13.
13's more than enough, yeah. Damage.
That's 7 plus 3 plus 2, so 12.
12. Okay, how do you want to do this?
I just want to just literally Animal Crossing, like, bug net out, like...
Yeah, and that's exactly what happens. There is a wet splat as Natalie, Bryn, and Eredan, your boots just get a red spray out of these rats as the massive great axe smashes into the ground and once again pulls it free from the sticking viscera of the rats. Now both sides of the axe are covered in rat.
I would.
When you said that, me and I was gonna just call you Eminence. We did we did exactly the same smile. It's like not included in the spray. It's like
yeah, and you now have rat on both sides of your axes, but it appears that you have taken care of all of the threats in this room.
Hooray!
Cool. So just off the bat, I'm just gonna cast Prestidigitation on myself and get rid of the rat goop.
Yeah, the goop kind of...
I flick the one dot of rat blood that has made its way away.
It leaves like a red streak, like almost like a tear mark. You just clear it out of the way.
Later, that will be your gang tattoo.
Cut to me at the end of the campaign, like tattooed
teardrops
all down my cheeks.
Well, that definitely could have gone worse.
I didn't like it at all. We should leave.
Yes, we are also still in danger of being exploded.
Yes.
I say we leave.
Can I just check the head goblin honcho's pockets and see if he's got anything cool?
He has a rusty scimitar. He has goblin-sized armor. He's got some lumps of dried, unidentifiable meat.
Mystery meat.
Definitely rat.
It
Nah,
falls
it's all
into the
good.
mystery meat category. Not too much of value, no.
Can Bryn go and investigate? Well, like, not investigate necessarily, but just look at like the berries and stuff. We'll kind of look around the chamber. Is there like? Is this like discernible? Is this connected to like the sewers or any kind of waterways or?
Yeah, so there are two more doors. There's one door going to the west and going to the south, whereas you guys came in over here. There's a door that way and another door that way. Looking around the chamber, you can see that there are pails and pails of dried Squire's Bane berries. Just tons and tons of them. However, you also see that there are many, many more vessels in this chamber. Some of them are a little dirty and a little less clean and kempt than you would like as an herbalist of all folk. But in addition to the pails of these berries, you can also see pails of the dried red powder nearby as well.
And any sign of null root in this area?
In this room, you do not see any.
I think there's something larger than just the six of us going on here. Don't touch the berries. Don't eat them. If anyone has some kind of predisposition to trying dried berries.
Do you know what all this shit is?
Well, I don't know what everything is, but these are definitely Squire's Bane. It's not a good time if you eat them. I treated a boy earlier. Symptoms of Squire's Bane, but he didn't have a recollection of eating anything. He said he hasn't had anything. So this is very unsettling.
Maybe he worked down here. Maybe he had something to do with this place. Like
He had no physical
unintentionally.
signs of having anything on him. I mean, something like this Squire's Bane, it's fresh, it leaves very vivid juice, but dried it leaves...
Oh, you cut out for that last bit.
Yeah. Last word I heard was dried.
Damn.
leaves a residue or something if you've been handling it, I would expect. And I think if you're dying and rolling around in agony, you might mention that you've been handling...
You cut out again.
Damn it!
Discord!
It's not me this time.
Turn off automatic.
Essentially, if he was dying, she suspected he would have mentioned something about berries or powder.
Yeah.
Is it possible he didn't choose to have it? Was it given to him?
I mean, I don't know how well goblins and children work together. I don't know if that's something that's usually would be employed in... But I mean...
Should we perhaps be having this conversation while we walk?
Yes,
yes.
let's...
Which door, though? There's two doors.
Can I investigate the doors?
You can.
Which one smells
There are
worse?
wooden doors with iron bands.
They both are.
Are they both bare?
So they both look the same, did you say?
Yes, they're reinforced doors. You can see they both have locks that are old and rusty, not very well kept, particularly adjacent to this room, considering the occupants that you just cleared out. Seems to make sense.
These everyone give me like a vibe. I want to vibe check the doors.
Vibe check!
Roll me a 1d2. Or
Yeah.
even odds.
There's
D2?
no T2.
A coin.
A d2 is a coin.
I don't have a coin. Wait, think I have money?
You can also do
I'm
evens
gonna
odds.
put my credit card.
Do evens odds. Oh my god.
I can
I'll look one.
flip on your behalf if you want, if you're willing.
Yeah. For my help. Please.
Heads.
Heads. The door to the west catches your eye.
Let's go see this one. I have a good feeling about it.
That's all I need.
Let's
Let's try
take a
this
break.
Awesome. Yeah, you kick open the door, and that's where we will break.
All right.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yes. It is about that time. So I haven't done a break with you guys before. Is this we'll be back in 15 minutes, or we'll be back next week?
Like 15 minutes, unless you want to call it.
I'm comfortable calling it here. I actually didn't expect us to quite get this far.
nice.
It's always that like DM situation where it's like I've prepared so much, I know what's going to happen for like so many things, and then the players are like, let's just go gambling. And then yeah. So we can go ahead and call it for this evening. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you Wisdom Saves for having me as guest DM.
You're not really a guest DM anymore.
You're just
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.